with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts peeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon.
Yes, people, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone, but more importantly, I say blue morning to you because, in fact, it is the Blue Morning Show. But specifically today, we'll be talking about transfers, and then we will try to predict the lineup that will start against Udinese. Udinese is home, and I'm hearing we're going to be playing two games there. I'm not sure the structure of the two games, what they are exactly. But we will talk about everything today. But more importantly, I hope again that we have a brilliant show for the past few days. So let's say 10 days in a row, we've had some brilliant show, brilliant debate, and some with quite a lot to learn. So with that, I say don't go anywhere, sit back, relax, and let's get into the show. Yes, people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another transfer show on Chelsea Perspective. Pardon me while I take a sip of my coffee to wake up properly because it's 3:25 a.m. here. But I am always happy to do that because of, the love you guys have shown the channel and how quickly the channel is growing. It is a good one and a strong one indeed. So thank you. Thank you again for finding the time to join us. And as you're coming in, be sure to smash the like button. Let's shoot for 300 likes a day. We haven't quite yet, we're close, but we haven't broken that record. The most we've had is 280 plus likes. Let's shoot for 300 likes a day. So as you're coming in, keep liking the video. Thank you very much. And then, as it is the tradition again, I will go through the chat to find out how people, are doing because we're family here. We're the Blue family. We all support Chelsea. Even if you don't support Chelsea, still we see you as part of the Chelsea Perspective family. So I'll start. Usually, I haven't seen anybody beaten. On if we start counting how many times he's been the first to arrive here, I haven't seen anybody beat a Liam Lane. Again, a blue morning, Kachila Ampana. He says, "Blue morning to you. I hope you're doing well." And we have a phantom of many topics. Liam says, What's your like number? Number two, he beat you to it again. It says, I am fortunate to hear the button. Ross Barkley will be Lampard's son soon. I hope that happens. It hasn't happened for him at Chelsea Football Club, which means I think he'd be better off. He'd be better off leaving the club to go to where, maybe he'd feel comfortable, he'd feel at home, and then we'll start seeing the Ross Barkley we went for. The Ross Barkley we thought we were getting, but unfortunately, we haven't seen that happen consistently. But the truth remains, every now and then you see flashes of why we went for him. Because Ross, again, he's got some player in him. Even the England team, what's his name again, likes him so much because probably what we're seeing him. That would be great. Hopefully, a few more to follow. I think a lot of players will leave this window. It will, instead, I see the club, having the courage to take L's on multiple fronts and just let them go because if you keep them long term, you'll be losing quite a lot of money. So it wouldn't make sense trying to avoid an L and then keep them players who are all on a who are all on high wages, and then it wouldn't make business sense at all. I say it's a blue family, says Jafta Sikwa. Nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. And Prime at Chelsea Talk. Big up, everyone. Big up to you too, brother. I appreciate you finding time to join today. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. That means a lot to me. And whenever you guys are on, I'd always try to join if I have time. Morning, all again. Go check out their YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe, and also be sure to tell them I sent you. Morning, all. So Teslam was you. My Niger brother. Nice to see you. Concierge of Crime 33. Good evening, Uggs. Okay, looks like it's even where you are. Morning to you from here, and I hope you're doing well. More importantly, Oscar Lee, I am 14th to smash the like button. You don't want to get to the relegation zone because that's close. But I'm just kidding anyway, and I know you know that. So nice to see you. Let us know if you're doing well. London is blue. Prime at Chelsea Talk. Yes. Yes, again, we could say that's the first delicious comment of the day. I hope you're doing well, brother. I hope things are well with you. Let us know. Good morning, everybody. Chelsea should sign Fofana. I think from what we're hearing, they're looking to sign him. And I'm not really concerned about the transfer fee being quoted out there. I don't think Chelsea will pay anything close to 70. Again, plus he's just coming back from injury. I think Leicester will be better off to sell him. Plus, we've heard they have to sell, to have enough money to be able to bring in the players they want. I think we're not going to pay anything close to that. Was hearing the same story we heard when we also heard the rumors that we were interested in bringing in what's his name, Ben Chilwell. So yeah, we'll see what happens. And big up Kuchila says Gospel Nair. Nice to see you there, Nai Nair. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Again, if it is pronounced Nair, right at one. If you pronounce Nai, right at two. So I know I'm pronouncing it correctly. Again, I would like to be a part of your panel one day. I'd welcome you, brother. Just shoot me, a DM via Twitter, and you get the link there. Again, I really would like to see you on Blue Morning, my people says, and life no limit. Bro, I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. Please do let us know you're doing well. While you are at it, take a second to let us know where you're joining from. That makes us happy. That gives us, the strength, to keep coming on, to entertain you, to try, for us to learn together, because that's what we do here. Everybody, the panelists, those in the chat, all contribute. It's inclusive. We don't leave anybody out. We try to read your comments, whether you super chat or not. As long as we're able to get to it, we will get to it. And I actually have a system in place, because the more as the channel grows, again, I've developed a system, so to speak. It becomes difficult to read everybody's comments. So that's the way we're going to do it. We'll be picking out comments, randomly, and be reading them, and we use the giveaway to help us do that. But again, we'll still be learning from everyone. Here he says, let me see. I think I've read that. And then again, Jafta Sikwa, let us know how you're doing, brother. I hope you're doing well. He says, this time around, the thought agreed terms with the player for us. Yep, if these deals go through, Fofana will be great for the next 4 or 5 years. It will be a superb signing. And he's still very young, again, which means he'll stay for us. we're building, for oh, I can't say that word, longevity, and I like that. Again, if we're really rebuilding, we must pay attention. Balance is key. We need experience, and also we need youth for whatever we're able to achieve, or whatever team we're able to build to dominate for a while. Again, good morning, Immortal, Treknik. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Big up, Kachila. Good morning to you too, my Niger brother. I hope you're doing well. Please do let me know. And how's work going? And also, how is life treating you? I hope you're fine, brother. I am doing well, Kachila. Hope likewise. Ireland via Niger in the building. I don't know if I should say, a car, or if I should say, yeah, Keke in Hausa, or if I should say Keke in Igbo. Again, I wish I could speak every language in the whole world. I like to say hi to people in their respective languages. And big up to you too, brother. This question: how would you feel if Leicester City asked for Liverpool Colwell in exchange for Fofana with some money as well? Yes or no? Absolutely no for me. Again, it's a difficult one. I'd rather keep Colwell than see that happen. I think they're pretty much the same age. Fofana is just 21. How old is Colwell again? It wouldn't make sense. You're sending the wrong message to the academy players who wholeheartedly would want to stay and play for the club. And from what we're hearing, Levi Colwell, he's indicated he's not going to push for a move. He wants to stay. And again, another thing we have to say is this, which is the fact indeed. There is no other place, no better club, no better, no better environment for Levi Colwell to develop into a better player than Chelsea Football Club right now, because we have Khalido Koulibaly, we have Thiago Silva. Those two players that is the best teachers ever he can get. Thiago Silva has the pedigree. There's hardly a trophy he hasn't won. Koulibaly has the intelligence and everything else. So again, he's won the trophies too. So the Chelsea would be a better place for Levi Colwell to, stay and learn. So I would not in a million years entertain us giving them Levi Colwell plus cash to get a Fofana. No, I'd rather keep Levi Colwell, and then if what's come to us, he gets game time every now and then mature into, that complete player that we would like him to be, and then he becomes a starter. And Joe the Boy says, big up Chelsea perspective. Big up to you too, brother. Again, I am not a huge fan of Pavard, but I am starting to accept we need to go for him. He suits our system. He can play RCB. He can also play right back. We can get him for 30 million plus. Bayern are willing, to sell him. Excuse me. Yes, I understand that Bayern wants to sell the player. The most important question you will have to ask is this: does our manager want him? Because we've been calling for the club to back the manager, and now it just from everything we're hearing, it looks as if they're willing to back him. So if he doesn't want Benjamin Pavard, why go for him? I think he's a good player, but we shouldn't always be going for players that clubs are rejecting, if you want to see it that way. But then again, there's a chance he comes to Chelsea and starts, and become an even better player. We've seen that happen on the Thomas Tuchel. But that's, by the way, again, I hope you're doing well. Again, the money you think Chelsea will get for Fofana, mate. There's a possibility. Never say never. The question is again, Leicester City, are they willing to sell? There's a chance they'd sell him. There's a chance they'd sell him. If a player has a price, then it's that player is buyable. The fact that there's a price tag on him, it means that we can buy him. Also, we're learning that they have to sell to have enough money to buy players. If that's the case, then they'd sell him, and then we can buy him. And I'm sure we're not going to pay anything north of 60 if we're really interested. But we'll see what happens as the transfer market progresses, as the window progresses. Again, hello to you too. Eric Blue says, busy as usual, brother. I am doing well. I am sure you're doing well as well. Yeah, I am doing well, and thank you so much for asking. Same here. Hell no for me too. They can keep Kepa. Yeah, they can take Kepa. Since we're here, and I think it was Kim So that brought us that news. I don't know if correct me if I'm misquoting you, Kim. So did you tell us that they've sold Schmeichel already, Kasper Schmeichel already? If they've sold him, I think Brendan Rodgers. I think he'd do well with Kepa Arrizabalaga because he's a good man manager. Plus, Kepa can play with his feet, and he likes that too. Broya and Bashwai have been given a short numbers for the new season, but Gilmore and Padu and Kennedy left out in the code. Oh, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. Or maybe those guys are actually waiting for some players to leave because that happens to even Raheem Sterling has even given it a number because I did a predicted lineup from a personal perspective. We will do one today, which we will all participate in, and try to predict the lineup that will predict the players that will play against Udinese. But we'll see what happens. Again, for me, that's something you could argue that's not a good sign. You could argue also that they're waiting for certain players to see and then see what numbers that will be available to leave, or the case may well be the club didn't give them numbers because they're trying to bring in players that will replace these players in question. So, but there's no way to tell what it is really. But we will wait and see. I sincerely do hope Ampadu stays. He has great potentials. We've seen his passing range even when he plays as a defender. Again, he's that good. But we're not sure what the manager wants to do. Excuse me, I just want to verify something here to log into the system to the right to be able to do something. Okay, the number. Okay, yeah. Again, there are a couple of things to look at and think maybe that's the case. We don't really know what's going on, but I think we will find out sooner or later because the season starts very soon. Again, Fofana for 60 million, make it happen. Yep, 60 will be fine, but anything north of 60, it becomes a huge risk because he's just returning from injury, and there's no way telling if he'd be able to replicate the form he showed before he got injured. This is very common. This is something that happens when players go, are out of the team for a long time. I mean, maybe it will take some time before they recover fully. I just don't know. Again, if you're watching, please take a second to also like the video. Let's shoot for 300 likes. We can actually break that record today. The most we've had is 280 plus. Let's shoot for 300 likes today. So please keep liking the video and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Again, he says here, hi, H Naku. Nice to see you, brother. He says, maybe we've got to look at loan options, maybe due for the season. There's just too many holes. Again, I think your argument makes sense. Maybe we should just, if Leicester wants them, on a season-long loan, while we get, again, it becomes a risk. That's a chance if they don't trust him that much, he becomes a bench warmer at Leicester. If you're talking about Levi Colwell, if they say, okay, give us Colwell on loan since you're taking Fofana, there's no guarantee he gets enough game time to continue developing. So it's a huge risk and one I wouldn't like us to take really. Not at all. I don't want to see that happen again. But that's by the way. Now let's keep going there. I'm going to catch up with what we have in the chart, and then we go into I'll let the tweets, the news, the updates that are out there drive the conversation, and then halfway into through the show, we will try to predict the lineup that will play today against Udinese. Again, thank you very much. Also, he says also report that Cho will be left out. We'll leave. I saw that too, and we will talk about it. Me all excited, yet they'll not yet done. I can see Fofana at right center back and James right wing back killing it. It would be the deadless flank. I think that you could argue that both are good players. Speaking of backing our manager, most of us agreed he should be backed. So why are some fans angry that he's already said no to Ronaldo? Yeah, exactly. That's the question. That's one thing I just do not understand. We're questioning his decisions, and we were the ones that have always called for the club to back him. And now that we're learning that the club are doing exactly what we're asking, we seem not we are complaining already. So it just doesn't make sense. That's what got me confused. Again, I think we should we should pay attention to what we're doing here. Again, if we really want the manager to be back, then we shouldn't be questioning his decisions regarding players, whether he wants them or not. It just doesn't make any sort of sense. We have to tell ourselves the truth. If we want him back, then we should be all in for that and not question his decisions in the market. It says, happy blue morning, everyone. Big up Kuchila and people in the chat. Big up to you too, my brother, DJ Sav. I hope you're doing well, brother. Again, nice to see you. I know you're at work. Again, Fofana has 5-year contract. Yes, his contract doesn't expire until 2027. But then again, if there's a price on the player, which means the player is buyable. So I'm not really concerned about, I'm not really concerned about the, about the length of his contract and all the factors you must also consider that will affect the price tag. In fact he just returned from injury. The reason the season hasn't started proper, so you cannot argue that he's able. You cannot argue that he's able to replicate the form he showed before he got injured. Hello, everyone. Hope you're all good. Also, hit the like button. Again, go check out the Coulette's sales. Make sure to subscribe and do let him know I sent you. Again, Tobago, you haven't sent me the credentials, how you want your channel to be represented in the description section whenever you participate in the discussion here. Big up chat, PJ Artist. I hope you're doing well. Please do let us know. Smith David, brother. Nice to see you. It says, good evening, bro. I'm seriously not happy after the defeat against Arsenal. All the teams went through tough preparations. We saw our lads playing table tennis with Tuchel. Again, that's no guarantee that they haven't trained hard. That's just how they relax after the days of training. It's a team bonding, exercise, which you can do away with. These guys, they do a lot of hard training to gain fitness and all that. Believe me, again, the loss against Arsenal, I get it. It's a London derby no matter where it's played. But in a way, you could argue it's a good thing we lost that game. It's an eye-opener. It lets us know we have some work to do. And whenever you underestimate Chelsea, whenever you count them out, we see them come out firing on all cylinders. So let's see what happens. Yeah, our fans should let Tuchel, build his team to ship our players out. And again, players has to go out before we're able to bring in players. Otherwise, we'll have a bloated salary. We also have a bloated squad, which is very hard to handle. And then that creates divisions because you have quite a lot of players who are not happy. Again, Fofana's injury scares me as that style. Again, it does scare me too. Again, if you're watching, go check out Phantom of Many Topics YouTube channel. He covers he does a lot of travel videos. I think you'd enjoy watching his videos. If Fofana is the level of defender that Chelsea are now looking at, then there's a lot of options open to who Chelsea could sign. Go ahead, give us some names. And by the way, again, Robert Ducky, FPL Robert Ducky, I hope you're doing well. Please do let us know. Again, Skriniar is cheaper and better, my opinion. Again, the question is, does Inter want to sell? They've rejected some bids from PSG, and I heard that the negotiations between the two clubs has hit a snag, and maybe they're hopeful they can get them to renew and stay, and they say they stay at Inter Milan. That may well be the case because it doesn't look like they want to sell him. Says, Ken, have I read this? Blue Morning, Fofana plays RCB, Cole plays LCB. They won't get in each other's way. Okay, no, we're just saying that the suggestion from the individual who suggested that what if they say they want him? It's not saying, again, he's not saying that that's the case now, because that's the chance. Clubs do that. They say they know the kid has potential. They may well say, okay, if you want this player from us, again, show us. We also want this one. It's not like they're getting him to replace him. That is as for like a replacement. No, baby, they just try to get him because he's again, he's a good player. You know, it's good to have. He's got a great talent, and they try to see if they can get him even on a permanent deal. That's what the argument is. Again, I've read this one. Plus, Chilwell's injury. Don't know if he will be great again. Yes, we don't know. I said that myself, but we'll find out. Between Russ, the boss, on 96K a week, that's actually not really too bad. He's the least. If you look at all the players we have at the club and how much they're earning, and some of them are in the category of what we call, deadwoods. How would Leicester City know about Colwell if they not been trolling Chelsea? No, they didn't say anything about that. Somebody just asked, what if they asked if I would allow that to happen? And I'm sure you already had my answer. I have a question to ask, please. I don't understand why Manchester City and Liverpool don't struggle when signing a player, but Chelsea always struggle. We don't struggle all the time. I think the struggle, we're actually one of the first to bring in players. If you follow, we were able to get Hazard when all the teams were looking, Havertz, so to speak, when all the teams in the whole world were looking to get him. We were able to get Timo Werner when there were other clubs vying to get his signature. Something as Hakim Ziyech and all the players we got. So again, the word delays. We had issues. We're at the time where other clubs in this particular window were busy, talking to players they want to bring in. We had all the pressing needs. Our priority then was to make sure that the club didn't go down. We were busy trying to survive. Those clubs were actually making fun of us that we're going down with the mud and all that, but we survived it. So again, it wasn't like it has not always been like that. So yeah, that's by the way. And maybe you could argue sometimes when it seemed like when we find it difficult to bring in players, it's because under Roman we're only going, and that's still the case actually. We're only linked with the best players, the biggest names in world football, emerging talents that every club wants. That's usually why it seems as if we find it difficult to bring in players, but that has not always been the case. Give Leicester Malang the best CBN award. You'd be surprised they take him, and next thing you know, he'd be one of the best centre backs in the league. And I think Tuchel isn't. He doesn't. I think he sees the talent in Malang Sarr, and I don't think he'd let him go. But we'll see what happens. Big up to you, my brother. Is Ronaldo coming to Chelsea? No. I don't see that. I don't see that happening, and I don't want that to happen. If the manager says, I don't want that to happen. Plus, if what we're hearing is true, that Tuchel blocked Ronaldo's move to Chelsea, then I don't want to see it happen. It's as simple as that. If the manager don't want him, why are we calling for it to happen? It just doesn't make sense. But again, that's by the way, Dalwan, and nice to see you here. Again, we have 85 people watching, and already we have 37 likes. Keep liking the video, please, please, please. Again, help the channel reach 300 likes today. We haven't broken that record. That's the least. The most we've done is I think 280 plus likes. Let's shoot for 300 likes today. Chelsea fans should understand the club is a transactional, is in a transitional period. We will get a sporting director. I don't think it's soon. I think if we have one now, probably must be one that's been hired to help the club, to help the club, get the players they want. Just at the moment, temporarily, then we'll talk about getting in a permanent, on a permanent base. City and Liverpool only go after two players at a time and get them. City pays high wages to land them, while Liverpool look for bargains. Again, that's another way to see it. And thank you very much for helping me out there. Let me see anything else. Again, we have Dube Lamatu. Nice to see you here. It looks like this is your first time here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you're doing well, and please do take a second to let us know where you're joining us from. Again, rather than panic buy, we should take an L this season and really focus on our recruitment. Pay attention, buy strategically. Make sure every player we're buying will fit the manager's preferred approach to the game. Fifth place in an FA Cup isn't bad. And the next season, we go quietly in the market and get players TT wants. I think we're still getting players TT wants this season. But the question is, my concern, well, I think not my concern already. I think that will most definitely be the case. Most of them will not be able to come in until we get well into the season. Let's say about not well, yeah, 5, 6 games. That has happened before. This is not the first time we've started going after players and only to bring them in as the season progresses or midway or let's say into quarter into the season. It has happened before. It's just that we had other issues that caused us problem, and we were already concerned whether we're going to be able to get in players because we started looking at players late into the transfer. No, usually we didn't start talking players on time like we usually do. But that's by the way. Again, do you need a panelist? I mean, if anybody wants to come and find, if nobody comes on, I can you actually go solo because the truth is I like interacting with your contributions in the chat. That I like doing that. So, but if anybody wants to join, that's okay. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you too, Smith. Hey, Fofana. Wow, we have a serious Chelsea fan who's already changed his name to to add Fofana to it. Says again. Smith David says, I just want Chelsea, should decide to sign Harry Maguire just to see Barcelona looking to sign him. Yeah, that's a hilarious, contribution there. Maybe we should do that to see what happens. Who knows? Maybe soon they start coming for Fofana, but you never know. Again, we have 97 people watching and we have 37 likes. If you haven't, please do take a second to like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you for all the support. I sincerely do appreciate that. We need just 50 more subscribers to get to 5,000 subscribers, and I know we'll be able to achieve that today. So please keep liking the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. My brother here, the coolest Charles, again, go check out his channel. He says Bayern Munich defender Benjamin Pavard would be willing to join Chelsea if the club makes a serious offer. Again, the other question is, are we willing to sign him? Do we want him? We'll see what happens. Again, just to show you, you cannot argue that Chelsea are only looking at defenders. We're talking to midfielders, we're talking to attackers, but we don't know everybody that the club are talking to. And you could argue that's partly the reason for our frustration. I think we will get a few players, won't be 6 as promised. I think if there's a chance, it's actually more than 6. It depends on how many players we'll lose. And you could say the club at this point, we're being cautious. And that's why you hear that Thomas Tuchel has blocked the departure of Timo Werner. Why would they do that? Because he's concerned maybe we're not going to be able to sign as much players as we want this window. So that's probably going to be, you may well see the likes of even Hakim Ziyech stay at the club, remain at the club, because we're not able to bring in new signings, to cover the holes that they will leave, or maybe because we don't see the possibility of getting players in. Okay, in sunny Brentford. Okay, thank you here for joining, bro. I appreciate that. Pavard can stay away. Most people don't like him. Some people argue that he's Andreas Christensen 2.0. If we consider him paying 72, no, I don't think we're considering that. But anyway, we're seeing what's out there. It just looks as if the journalists are paid to help the selling club hype the price of the player. Again, we don't know what's really going on, but we'll look at it in a bit. Just give me a second. I want to do something in the computer quickly. Why am I not finding you? Just one second. Okay, I'm trying to find a brother Phantom. Again, I'll send the link in a bit to those that want to join, and I sincerely do appreciate it. Even Matt, my brother, who just finished a stream, has the time, to join us. I think, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Again, quickly, I'll be back with you guys in a bit. Again, we're not considering doing that. We heard the same story when we talked about. We heard that we're in pursuit of Ben Chua, but we ended up getting him on a cheap. Again, I've done that, brother. And again, I'd like to see you if you have time. That's important. Pavard is a good player, but anyway, everyone have his oh my gosh, his or her opinion. Again, yep, we differ. We see things from different lenses. for obvious reasons, because we reason differently. Whenever you are, whenever you are going out for something best, the people that doesn't want you to rise will always be at your neck. That is Chelsea for you. Again, you could see it that way, but the simple explanation is this: we're always going for the best players, and then again, we have all the big clubs, some of which have, yeah, at this point, have better history or bigger history than we do. They also do want to get the same players. So there will always be competition for the best players in the world. You cannot not change that. Again, thank you for 109 people watching. And again, thank you for 37 likes. That's not easy. If you haven't, please do take a second to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. So thank you. Thank you for all the support. Aniobi Anyanwu, my Igbo brother, says that Chelsea only need a good striker and one up playmaker. You think so? It depends on the type of striker you're talking about. But anyway, welcome to the channel. Both Fofana and Rice will be Chelsea players one day, but maybe not this summer. That may well be the case, because Fofana, his story is not like the stories we've heard. How what's his name? Jonathan Klaus said he loves Chelsea, and then Ty, the counterman, told us, and I think he was right, how he's seen other videos. I think, Ty, correct me if I'm wrong, the same player saying how he loves Manchester United or every other club. And then I was like, okay, that's no guarantee. But in the case of Fofana, I think he really wants to come to us. According to the rumors, we've agreed personal terms. Plus, when the rumors emerged, his friend shared a picture of the player wearing a Chelsea shirt as a kid. Again, I don't think his friend would do so without Fofana knowing. I think that's him saying, "Come get me. I'm really interested." But it remains to be seen for how much. But we'll follow the story as it develops and see what happens. And I want to say welcome to two of my brothers here, Ty Talks CFC and Phantom of Many Topics. How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well.
Great. Hey, Ty, are you there too? Or just...
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, okay. Okay, so anyways, the big story of the day is Everton's interest in Russ Barkley, right? I hope this does go well. Russ Barkley is usually very good in preseason. He hasn't been this year, though. But still, I think there's still some mileage left in Russ Barkley, and I think that Lampard would know how to get the best out of him, since they're so familiar with each other. What do you think?
Here's what I would say to that. I think Frank liked him. I think he had more opportunities under Frank Lampard, if you ask me. Russ is a good player. Russ is actually a creator. Russ is actually one of the best creators we have on the team. But for some reason, he's not been able to do it consistently for us. That's why the England manager, even again, I think he's been left out of the England national team of that's in recent months or years. If you want to, I don't know which it will be the better term to use for it, because he hasn't played consistently. But there was a time, even though he wasn't in his best form, but as long as he was playing, he was called for the England national team assignments, because he's a fine creator. He can orchestrate some great passes. In him in the final thought, but again, he hasn't done it consistently. Maybe there are other things the managers aren't seeing in him that we don't know. You get my option. Again, I wish him well. He's a player actually I liked. When I heard we got him, I was happy. I was elated, thinking maybe even though he was injured before we went in for him, that he'd do well. But that's, by the way, Ty, your thoughts on the Ross Barkley news?
It's good. It really is good, because we need players who are consistent. Yes, Barkley. I had hope for Barkley under Lampard, because Lampard really did like him, and he played him in a lot of games that was possible. So I think in that sense there was some level of interest in terms of him being in the squad. But Lampard, at the same time, I think Lampard wasn't against him leaving, because even in 2020. I can remember the fact that they were trying to get him on a loan, and I think he did. Or was that last year? I don't even remember now. I'm pretty
Who
sure. But when did he have the loan to Aston Villa? Was it 2021 or 20?
from us?
Yeah,
Did he leave on loan from us?
yeah, he did. He went on loan and then he got injured. He was at Aston Villa.
Yeah,
It was the
yeah,
same
he
time when Aston Villa smashed Liverpool 7-2. I don't remember.
yeah, I think that was one of his better seasons was at Aston Villa because
Yeah, then
when
he
I
got that injured, and if then his season collapsed.
yeah, and
So
then he came back. Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, if Lampard is interested, if Everton are interested, that'd be good for him and that'd be good for the team because he hasn't really been consistent. I mean, we kept him
Hmm.
last season, despite us trying to get him a loan, but obviously his wages to the club that we were trying to loan him to became an issue. So I think maybe in the end, maybe he was kept because there was no other choice. But I mean, Tuchel did use him. It's not like he just had him. Well, he didn't use him a lot, but he did use him. I know I remember that he brought him on for the penalty shootout in the cup final, just to come on and take a penalty, and he did. He did take a good penalty, so that's fair to him. But I just think that he hasn't really been the most consistent player since he was signed. So I think maybe this is just another signing where we have to cut our losses and just accept that what another signing never worked out. But the only difference is that this should be as bad because he wasn't like an expensive signing. I think he was worth like 30 million or something along those lines. So I think maybe the loss that we may have to take is not really that significant as maybe a Lukaku or, for example, a Werner or something along those lines. I think maybe we
Mm.
just have to accept that this one didn't work out and just move on.
Here's the thing. I think collectively, in terms of the whole Deadwood, category, I think we should just, take the L from on multiple fronts and just let some of them go. It will make sense in the long run. But that's, by the way, I wouldn't actually see letting Respectfully go as an L. We bought him for cheap, and he's played a sizable amount of games for us, and he's done quite well on occasion. So I take that. I wouldn't count him as one of the players that would be taken an from. But that's, by the way. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead, catch up with the chat, then we'll start. Like I said, I will let WhatsApp the things we have out there, drive the conversation, and then at one point we will go into predicting the lineup for the game against against Udinese. Says Real Madrid inquiry for Broya. Okay, Broya for Militao. I wouldn't even do that actually. If that's in fact the truth, if they've inquired about the player, which means again they've seen something in him, that should be a sign to us that we shouldn't even let him go. But I think whatever they've seen, these clubs, whatever they've seen in Amanda Broya, I think Thomas Tuchel himself has seen him, have seen that even before they see that, which means we're not going to let him go. Which means again he's realized what a player Amanda Broya is and what he brings to the team, and it's said on occasions he's staying. Big up, we must get a Werner out of Chelsea. TT needs to go if we don't let Werner go. That's a bold statement that I don't think that's the case. Which means you'll probably be getting ready for TT to leave because he's blocked Timo Werner leaving the club, which is if you ask me, I'd say it's a strategic move. It doesn't look like that's what's going to happen right now. He's blocked the move because probably he's not sure if we're going to be able to bring in a replacement, which makes sense. It is a strategic move. So again, if you're watching again, if we have 98 people watching, and again the likes, and coming close, like 60 likes at this point. That's not easy. Please keep liking the video. Please, I beg you, help us reach 300 likes by the end of the show. We can actually do that with your support. So thank you for all the support. I sincerely do appreciate that. And again, I say this every day. And I know you must have heard me say it before. You don't have to donate your hard-earned cash to the channel. All I ask of you is just drop a like. That alone is a huge donation. You're watching, you're not even commenting. That is huge. You're in the chat commenting. That is huge. You're sharing the video on social media platforms where you have presence. Those things do go a long way. So thank you for all the support. Please keep liking the video and help us reach 300 likes by the end of the show. Barkley was bought for only 15 million in 2018, and he
That's
played
even
quite
better.
enough.
That's
Sorry?
even better.
Yeah, that's even better. So that's why I said I don't think he counts as an L. So let's get into what we have to discuss today. Except if you are in the chat and you think there's something else, you see something happening out there, and you want us to talk about it, please bring it up, but we'll try to look at it. That's how we operate here. It's not about the panelists only. It is an interactive show as usual. Now, first, what we have here is the GOAT himself. That's Cristiano Ronaldo. Let's read what he has to say. Just as we've always, told our followers here, everything you see out there, bring them together, group them, categorize them as rumors collectively or as speculations. Don't just jump to conclusions to a conclusion based on them until again, like for instance, if we're talking about transfer, until you see the player holding the shirt and the club releases a statement saying we've signed this player, that's when you can say it's done. Cristiano Ronaldo says, impossible not to talk about me one day. Otherwise, the press makes no money. You know that if you don't lie, you cannot get people's attention. Keep going that way. One day you got some news right. Yeah, again, he's just laughing at them too, because the chances are actually we don't want him. Chances are we did not discuss anything with him. Chances are it's just because of the situation at Manchester United. Of the press is just making the most of the situation, clickbait. And people, we do suck up to all the nonsense we see out there. And Ty, I want to get your thoughts on that. Before I want to say big up to the beautiful game. Big up, brother. I can't thank you all enough for all the love you've shown at the channel. Again, you're a brilliant soul, brother. Thank you so much. Ty, your thoughts on what you're looking at out there. It just summarizes everything we've been talking about, the Twitter journalists, if you want to phrase it that way. Did we lose Ty? Phantom, you can comment at one time.
I do have a comment on the Ronaldo. First of all, we heard that Atletico Madrid said that's a false rumor. They're not even talking to.
Yep, the president said he doesn't know who manufactured that one. Go ahead.
Also, there's a rumor that he's talking to perhaps Real Madrid again. Is that a possibility? Because he could just go home, right?
I don't think they'd want him back because he will create a problem. Even though the whole players, the players there, they pretend they're fine with him returning.
Mm-hmm.
But the truth remains, it will mean, again, whether by design or subconsciously, Karim Benzema, who's been one of their best players, takes back seat.
Yeah.
And there's no guarantee that Ronaldo will be able to replicate the form he showed when he was still at Madrid. I think they've moved on from him. It's a risk that is not worth taking. And again, if you could look at the Ronaldo situation right now and argue that nobody wants him.
Right.
That's how I see it. Nobody wants him. It doesn't look like Manchester United are really serious about keeping him. Why do I say that? You should go back and watch Football Terrace's latest video on Ronaldo, where he said, he was practically arguing that Ronaldo caused a problem in the dressing room. So why bring him back?
He does,
he talked about those things and was arguing if they're serious about rebuilding, then Ronaldo shouldn't be part of the process.
What about Dortmund? They're so hung up for somebody who can score now that Haaland is gone and their other guy is injured, right?
Here's the thing. I don't think Dortmund would come for him. Again, I've explained this. Ronaldo will bring you goals, but there are other things that comes with Ronaldo that I think will be problematic for some managers. For instance, if he comes to Chelsea. I've always tried not to call it ego. It is something because of who Ronaldo is, because he's one of the best players the world has ever seen.
Yes.
There is some, let me call it unseen factors that go to him, that go with him wherever he goes. For
Yeah.
instance, once he comes into a team, I think it was Rodrigo, the panic bus driver, who
Right.
argued this before. If you look at the teams that Ronaldo has played for, that is after he left Real Madrid, the moment he arrives at a club, the numbers of the strikers who were there before his arrival will start dropping, but he's a skyrocket and he gets more goals. It has
Right.
happened at Juventus the moment he arrived. It seemed as if he was actually, should I say, suppressing or Dybala. His numbers started dropping, Ronaldo's went up. And then he came to United, the numbers of the attackers there started going down while he went up. And he scored 20 goals, yet they did not make it to top 4.
Well,
So again,
and
yeah, go ahead. You were saying something.
he scored 18 goals for Man United, and Bruno Fernandes almost lost half his goals, right?
Exactly. So those things I'm not saying are by design.
Right.
There's a chance those things happen subconsciously because he's a big name.
Right. So everybody passes to him.
What about the case of Real Madrid?
Yeah, exactly. Even it happened at Real Madrid. There was actually at the time at Real Madrid, it was being argued that if we again let's remove this picture, but because we've gone beyond what he's saying about the nonsense that the media are doing right now. There was a time it was argued that he's not happy whenever his teammates score. I don't think that's the truth, but that's to show you some people understand he brings you a goal, but there's more to Ronaldo than just the goals, especially at this age of his career. Plus, all the factors that those that have argued that we want Ronaldo aren't considering. Other factors such as the fact that the way we're not ready to accommodate a player like Ronaldo, and if another example would be Lewandowski. There's a chance that changes had Lewandowski joined us or if Ronaldo joins us because, again, I'm going to repeat myself. We defend as a unit. But once he gets to the final third, everybody, wants to be the scorer, or you could argue everybody becomes selfish for individual glory. We haven't become a team in terms of the way, because that's why Man City, for instance, they score more goals than we do. Because in the final third, the player with the ball will always look up, trying to find a better positioned player. But in our team, you can say 50% of the times, the player will try to shoot, will try to be the scorer. And that will frustrate Ronaldo. And that will get him, start throwing tantrums, it is who he is. That doesn't mean he's a bad player. And there's a chance if we bring him in, if things started going down south, the manager will be the one to lose his job. And if the club wants him, if the manager wants him, I'm not going to argue against that. Maybe he's looked at him and maybe thought about it and said, okay, you know what? I can actually make this work. But that's, by the way, and that's my argument. I see a DJ, and DJ over time, he's, changed from Timo's lawyer. He's given up on Timo because Timo himself, his client, isn't helping his case. So now Ronaldo has hired him, maybe. We'll see what happens. Again, before I go to DJ, if you're watching and you haven't, again, please take a second to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Again, thank you so much for all the love that you've shown this channel. DJ, I'll bring you in. You bring the fight I know you joined for. I'm here for it. Tell us why you want.
Oh, mate. You guys have started me. Good morning to you guys, first of all, and big up to everybody in the comments.
I hope you're doing well. Much love.
Yeah.
Much love.
Listen, I'm all good, bro. Look, I've said this before on my stance on Ronaldo. But to be honest with you, I'm listening to everything you guys are saying, and I can understand why you don't want Ronaldo at the football club. I do get that.
Can I say this quickly?
Yeah.
If you don't start your argument with, I can understand. I will ask you for your ID. Everybody has what I ID them with. Go ahead.
Just to sure you know it's me, bro. Here, I'll what do you call it? I'm here, so you know it's me. Yeah, there's my
No,
ID.
no. I know it's you.
I'm joking, bro. I'm joking.
I do know. I do know you're the one speaking. Your voice is very unique. It cannot be faked.
Hey, camera on, DJ. We got to have more people.
No, leave him. He's at work. He's at work.
No, listen, I'm at
Go
work,
ahead,
guys.
DJ.
I'm working from home. Listen, I'm sure, in case anyone is watching, I've got obviously got to be careful in that way. But look, now listen, as I was saying, look, I can understand the situation with Ronaldo and why you're saying your argument, what your argument is, Coach. Look, my thing has always been, we're crying out for a striker that's going to score us goals, and if you bringing in Ronaldo, it's got a lot of sense to it in terms of obviously, not only will he score you the goals in terms of marketing rights, he'll get the shirts sold for the football club. It'll bring a lot of good to the football club. I know you got this thing about him where he thinks he's one dimension. He likes to do it's all Ronaldo or nothing. I think the players around him, that we have, will actually. I think in terms of me, I think they'll play as a unit. I don't think he'll come in there demanding, "Oh, I'm the one who's going to be your number one." I know people are saying, I think he's calmed down a lot from that, from when he first started out. And I think someone like Manchester, this is why I'm a bit surprised at United. Why United, there's obviously a situation at United where he may leave. And let's get one thing straight: the only reason why he's leaving Manchester United is not because he doesn't like the football club or he doesn't want to. But he's leaving United because they're not in the Champions League. It's as simple as that. And and he wants to play Champions League football. We all know this. He wants to play Champions League football, and
he wants to win it.
Exactly it, bro. He wants to win it. And that's the kind of thing you want. That's the kind of personality you want in your team. You want a winner.
But here's the counter question before you continue, brother. Do you think he'd look at us as we are right now and say, Chelsea can win it, so I'm joining them?
Do you know what? I'll be honest with you, Coachella. At this moment in time, I do believe we've got the squad to do well in the cup competitions. We may not get up there in the Premiership as people may think. We might not finish in. I still think we're still a top 4 team. Personally, even with the squad we've got, we might not manage to win the Prem. But I do believe we are a cup team. We can do it. I think we proved last season. We got into all finals. Literally, we only got beaten on penalty kicks. So we are a cup team in that way. And I do believe Ronaldo coming in there could give us that extra blend to win as the Champions League next season. It's going to be tough. Listen, we can't rule out the other clubs that are involved. Real Madrid. I cannot certainly see Real Madrid giving up on that trophy. You got obviously Tottenham in there now. You've got Manchester City, Liverpool, all the usual candidates that are in there. Apart from obviously Tottenham, who have just only come back in it, but the usual candidates before Tottenham are in it still. So in that kind of way, it's going to be a tough thing, but I still think we can have a good run in the cups. And I do believe, Ronaldo's that kind of player that can get us those things, that kind of trophy, because he actually thrives on that trophy. He wants to win it every year. And that's the kind of winning mentality we need at the football club. You know what I mean? So for me, that's the only reason why I'm saying Ronaldo. And also the fact that, he's a top player. I don't care what anybody says. He's a world-class player.
You don't see any negative, DJ. You don't see any negative.
No, I mean, I get the only negative. The only negativity I can see could possibly happen is if he makes it all about himself. Which again, will Thomas Tuchel allow that? Is the other thing. I mean, people say, can you not handle personalities? Tell me, at PSG, he had the likes of Neymar, he had the likes of Mbappe, he had the likes of all personalities like that to deal with. Thiago Silva was another one. People want to say that he's not a person, but he is a person. But he had all these personalities that he dealt with at PSG. So I don't see why Ronaldo could be a different situation. Why he wouldn't be able to handle a Ronaldo. Because if you were to give Ronaldo to a Klopp and a Guardiola, they'll handle him no problem. So what makes Thomas Tuchel different to them is what I'd say.
Yeah, I get your argument, DJ. I'm glad you're able to agree that there's a downside to it, again, which is if he makes it all about him. But do you agree, and I want anybody in the panel to join in and answer this question. For instance, again, there's a chance our play being all about Ronaldo, there's a chance it could happen on its own without it being by design. Should I give you an example where that has happened to us before?
Sorry, bro. Were you asking me, bro? Sorry.
That is, you see how you say he said if Ronaldo comes to Chelsea and makes it all about himself. And I'm asking you, do you need an example where you could say something similar has happened, but it didn't happen by design? it happened subconsciously. The case of Lukaku.
Lukaku.
I know Lukaku.
Yes, the case of Lukaku.
Yeah.
Our play at one point became all about Lukaku, and it happened subconsciously because we have a single individual whom the sole reason why we signed him was for him to come and start scoring goals. But the argument why the scouts thought that would work, because we had people who created chances, the chances, the misses we had were coming from everybody in the front three. And we thought maybe we should get a single individual to become our point of reference in terms of scoring goals. We'll solve our goal scoring issues, not thinking about, well, if it is a single individual, if the opposition mark him out, we're practically done. Nobody thought about that. And then Lukaku came in. Again, I'm just going to phrase it this way to be safe, whether subconsciously or by design. Our play mostly whenever he was on the pitch was to find him, even deep from the defense. In most cases, our defenders were bypassing the midfield, trying to find Lukaku, because he was a goal machine in Italy and he's joined us. We're expecting to start fighting and also in that. You could argue the expectations we had for Lukaku was one of the reasons why we didn't see it that he did well, even though he was a top scorer after being injured and all he went through. So even those on the flanks, the right wing backs, the two behind him in most cases, the 260s, every time they have the ball, in most cases they were looking for Lukaku. And we realized that, most people was able to realize that when Lukaku got injured, then it occurred to us in his absence, we looked more fluid up front. We created more chances in his absence. Oh, we actually did score more goals when he wasn't there.
Wide. We scored goals from wide areas.
Exactly. Yeah. So the goals were coming from everywhere in his absence. But with him on the pitch, it just his the point of reference whenever it comes to scoring goal. And that's a problem. And we're saying the same thing now. We're watching the same movie we watched before we decided we thought Lukaku would be the final piece of the puzzle. We should pay attention. And I think Tuchel didn't really want Lukaku. I can agree to that right now, but he's partly to blame because he okayed it. Now, we're calling for Ronaldo again to come in and become the goal scorer. It is the same thing. The story isn't different. And there are other issues beyond that. But go ahead, DJ, round off your point. I know you are at work, so if you can go back to work again, but that's up. You understand your schedule better than I do. But you're here for the fight for your client. You go ahead.
No, bro. Listen, as I said, no, I'm not here to fight. And I've seen some people in the comments already saying that Thomas Tuchel left PSG because of the likes of Mbappe and Neymar. No, he didn't leave because of that reason. The reason why he left PSG because he didn't win the Champions League. It's as simple as that. That's the only reason why they got rid of him. And they sacked him for that reason.
DJ, that's not.
Yes, bro. If you look at the situation afterwards, Ty, you saw everything that came out of PSG afterwards, man. And one of the main factors was they even came out and said it. Yeah, the owners even said we didn't win the champion. Thomas Tuchel has taken us as far as he possibly can. So we need a new direction to the football club. It was even came out, and it was come out in one of the things. I can't remember which way it was, but it even came out, and it was because of that reason. Okay, maybe people might say it might not be because of that. It might not be because of him, but because don't forget. Let's also be honest. Neymar's actually gone on and said that he actually likes to work under Thomas Tuchel. He actually came out and made a thing on his Instagram and said, or whatever it was, I cannot remember. He said he actually came out and said he's one of the best managers I like to work that I like to work under. So I can't believe for a second Neymar got him out the door.
Let's check the time frame, DJ, because there's also a video where we're learning he practically celebrated the firing of Thomas Tuchel.
Yes, that's true. I saw it.
A video, I'll be honest with you, I did not see that video.
I said before that he was the best manager on the pitch. But at the time, relationships sometimes do go down south. Maybe that has happened. There's a chance, actually, the politics of Neymar and Mbappe, those two may well be the reason he left the club. But go ahead, brother.
No, go on, Ty. Ty was talking. Sorry, go on, Ty.
I was trying to say that what proof is it that the video came out after?
But the video in question came out after he was fired, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What proof is there though? That's the question.
Okay, which one came last? Was it the video of him saying how he loves playing under Thomas Tuchel, or the one he celebrated his firing?
I'm not sure because this is news to me. That's what I'm asking.
But I've seen that video before, so it's not a doctored, it's not invented. Neymar was happy when Tuchel got fired. So, hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh yeah, Neymar was happy when Tuchel got fired. So there's no way we're gonna sign Neymar. As far as CR7, at this point, I'm ready to roll the dice. Because I don't know if Raheem Sterling alone is gonna and Mason Mount is gonna be good enough to.
You ready to roll the dice, and then when things start faltering, you just run, go take refuge at Fulham. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's right. I have no right to speak because right now I'm on loan for another team, so I'll just shut up.
No, but go ahead, brother. I'm listening to you.
I think that Lukaku he doesn't have the agility that CR7 does. I mean, CR7, I don't know whether Lukaku was just standing there waiting for it. I mean, he was more of a tap-in Tammy than tap-in Tammy himself because he would just stand there being like, oh, okay. He would wave his arms, but why don't you run towards Havertz or Conte or whoever had the ball at the time, or Jorginho? Why don't you run towards them a little bit and pick up the ball instead of making them go the entire distance to you? He just wanted to stand right by the net
That's his profile. That was his profile, and that is why I will always blame the scouting department or whoever wanted him, because if you look at the way Inter Milan played, you'd have Lautaro Martinez dropping deep, and you'd see Lukaku occupying space. That was his characteristics. Going into space.
Let's just quickly move on from. I think we should call him the L boy, like the K boy.
Can I at least
go ahead, but finish what you're saying. Yeah. Finish what you're saying. Sorry for cutting you off, Ty. I just wanted to let us know we should move on from him because it distracts us quite a lot. Go ahead, bro.
No, it's going back to the personality and the Tuchel thing. The Paris thing, not personality. The PSG situation. He wasn't sacked, or he didn't leave because he didn't win the Champions League. Everything started to crumble during the December period when he was sacked. He was getting angry. They were questioning him about his team not scoring a lot of goals. This is why the patterns for me when I went early in the week I was saying that there's certain patterns, because in terms of that you see the media ask him questions, he get frustrated, and when he replied, it would be more with toxicity. There's a lot of aggression in his responses, and I mean he wanted certain players, he didn't get those players either. I mean, in terms of he wanted Kante, we were aware that he wanted Kante. The sporting director promised him that he would go in for him. Obviously Chelsea didn't sell Kante, so he was disappointed. And due to the fact that he was promised certain things by the director, that didn't sit well with him. So the relationship started to crumble with the the hierarchies. And the directors, the relationship between Tuchel and directors started to crumble. So I think in that sense, they say it's mutual consent. I just think that they both agreed that the best thing to do was to go their separate ways on Boxing Day. And
when you say it's a very, very polite way to fire somebody.
I mean, no, it's not. There's no polite way to fire somebody, because firing somebody is nothing positive.
No, there's a polite way to call somebody stupid.
Those two words in the
but go ahead,
sentence,
I get your point. Go ahead, brother.
Both words in that sentence contradict itself, because firing is negative and polite is something positive. A positive and a negative cannot make a positive. So I mean that in itself contradicts itself. You can't
counter tie.
You can't politely disrespect someone.
You're just shaming me in public. You're just shaming me in public.
You. I'm just saying that you can't politely
disrespect somebody. I am kidding, bro. Go ahead.
politely disrespecting someone that doesn't exist, because disrespecting someone is something negative and polite is something positive. So to politely fire someone that doesn't exist, because you cannot do something positive with something negative. That is not true. So I think in a sense they just decided to go there. They just decided to part ways, and have a peace offering. I mean, he doesn't seem like he has any hatred towards PSG, and I'm not sure if PSG have the same feeling as he does, because he did things for them. It's not like he didn't go there and win things. He won things. He got them to their first, or well, not their first. He got them into the UCL final. People use the fact that it was a one leg thing and anybody can win by one leg, but it's difficult. So they had to rely on last minute goals and everything. So I don't agree with that.
In their background is someone.
That would be me. That would be me.
You live on a farm?
No.
Oh. Ty, go ahead, please. We don't need that. Phantom.
Anyways, the point I'm making about this Ronaldo thing. Yes, he has the attitude that you want in the squad, but at the same time, if he's leaving if he's leaving a club because they're not in Champions League, that is not good, because that means that he believes that he should not be less than that. I mean, yes, you want to win the best of the best, but if the sole reason that he's leaving is because he wants Champions League, that is not an attitude that you want, because that means that if we get eliminated from the Champions League, he's gonna be upset, because it's not that he wants to be at a team that has Champions League, because if that was the case, he'd go back to Sporting if they would have him. He wants a chance to at least win it. Right now, I don't even think Chelsea has the squad to win it. So that in itself would contradict itself, because he comes here, we get eliminated in knockout stages, he's gonna be pissed because he wants to win it. And I mean,
and then even if you had him on a 2-year contract, he leaves after 1 year.
Yeah, and that's the situation at Juventus as well. Juventus got eliminated by Porto in the quarterfinal, not the round of 16, I think it was.
Then he left.
And then he left. He left.
So there's a pattern. That's a pattern to that.
That's what I'm saying.
Again, I want to get what his lawyer wants to say, but let me quickly catch up with the chat. Again,
by the way, Jordy boy, that's
okay. The lawyer wants to leave. He's bounced already. Go ahead, Ty. By the way, let me catch up with the chat so we're not far behind and we can start talking about what we have to discuss.
When you add addition and multiplication are similar, division and subtraction are practically, they go hand in hand. But when you add a negative and a positive, you cannot be getting a positive. So if you're gonna build up maths into it, even in maths, that stuff would defend my point. You cannot add a positive.
You've made a very, very brilliant argument regarding the Ronaldo issue. Again, File Diaz here, Boogeyman, bigger brother, nice to see you. He says the only fact that CR7 leaving a club that launched his career, the club that brought him to, that is, made the whole world see what he's got. Again, the fact that he's doing that because they are not in the Champions League is all we needed to know, not to bring him to Chelsea Football Club. It's all about him. I wish I had the bus driver also here, the panic bus driver, to make that argument he made that day. That actually brought me to the attention to the fact is all the places he's been after Real Madrid, the numbers of the strikers who's playing for the club already drops while his goes up. And it hasn't changed. Again, that's, by the way, he brings you goals, but there are other things there are other things he brings too. So you must know that. But that's, by the way, again, thank you so much. Again, 134 people watching. I cannot thank you enough. And 73 likes. I'd be ungrateful not to say thank you for that. Again, we're shooting for 300 likes. So if you haven't, please take a second to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, thank you. Help us reach 300 likes today. We haven't done that before. Let this be the first day. And I know we can. If you support us. Again, let me see. But Ronaldo's knee is better than Timo's knee. Is he better than Timo? Far, far better. But you have to consider all the stuff. Again, that is, by the way, Lukaku is the reason Chelsea got trashed by Arsenal. I suppose no. When you find yourself in mid-table, blame Lukaku. That's not the case. Again, we're not saying Lukaku is a bad player. Simple. Lukaku doesn't suit the way we play. I can't start talking about his deficiencies as a player. Every player has areas where they lack. There's no such thing as a perfect player. That's, by the way, TT left PSG of his own accord because he had a falling out with a sporting director. Cannot remember his name. I think it was a Brazilian too. But that's, by the way. Fabio says, what happens when we don't make it past the group stage and the Champions League? Then, then R7 starts asking to leave. Ronaldo is surely not a team player. Tuchel had enough drama to deal with. Again, that's just the truth. Again, says here, where is the video where Neymar was happy when Tuchel got sacked? Again, if anybody can find that, please do share it. I think it was shared in the chat here before. It says that Neymar is not professional. Again, these guys have their issues, and maybe it's us just jumping to conclusions because we don't know them on a personal level. And I'd like you to elaborate why you said Neymar isn't professional. Again, they say that you don't know what you have till you lose it. That's what happened to Neymar. Again, I think that may well be the case. He doesn't know how critical Tuchel was to all, how well he was doing at PSG until Tuchel left. Maybe that's when he started realizing again what he's missing. Reece James Kingdom says, I love how everyone predicting Chelsea's future will be doing well this season. Again, I think that has always it has that has repeated severally that you could argue that it will happen again. Because when you think Chelsea aren't going to do well, usually they spring up surprises. It has happened severally that I think maybe that may well be the case this coming season, but we'll see. Again, I will skip quite a lot. And then again, heartfelt apologies to you if I haven't read some of your input or haven't said hello, some of your contributions or haven't said hello to you. I will try to read your subsequent contributions. So that's, by the way, again, it says here, let me see, again, my screen is freezing a bit. I respect everyone. If I don't speak on what other people do, then I expect them not to, comment on what I do. Maybe they say things because they see that we are back on the market. Laporta. Oh, okay. That's a good one. Good. Thank you for sharing that with us. Chelsea fans, just learn how to listen sometimes. Everyone is becoming too opinionated. Again, that's what we live in. But again, you don't just believe everything you see out there. Most are people's opinions. So again, I'm going to skip to the very bottom. Joe the Boy, how are you doing? Again, I hope you're doing well. Joker, welcome. Everyone is, again, I'm going to skip to the very, very bottom of everything in the chat. And sorry if I miss, your contributions in the chat. Kochi, we need someone like Ronaldo to blend Armando Broja, and a year contract won't be bad. 1 year contract will be bad. Again, what did the Manchester United players learn from him? And I'm going to tell you this again. Go check out Terry, that's Football Terrace's latest video on Cristiano Ronaldo. He doesn't want him at the club, but that doesn't mean the club doesn't want him. He's practically saying Ronaldo was to blame is to blame for the dressing room issues they had. Again, I'm not going to argue too much about this because the argument remains: if the manager wants him, I can't argue against that. There's nothing we can do about it, and we can argue about it all we want here from morning to night to the next day. If the manager wants him, we will. That's the outcome of our conversation here. Will not make a difference. So it just doesn't make any measure of sense to continue arguing about it. So, but that's, by the way, I'm going to bring in Matt. Matt, finally, your final thoughts on the Ronaldo argument, so we can move on and discuss the next stuff we have to talk about here.
I mean, you don't know my thoughts. Is Ronaldo better than Werner? Yes. Is Ronaldo better than Havertz? Yes. Is Ronaldo better than Cho, Pulisic? Yes. Bring him in. That's all I got to say, man. Beggars can't be choosers at this point. If he's linked to us, bring him in.
Just bring him in.
He's better than every single attacker.
Let me just ask you this, Matt. You know, I love you, brother. But the question is, do you agree that Ronaldo brings more than goals? He brings problems as well.
If you got a high mentality team, if you got a smart team, he's not going to cause trouble. Look at Manchester United's attack: Rashford, Sancho. I
Mhm.
don't disagree that maybe he might bring some problems, but he might be cocky. Oh, who the hell cares, man? He's better than every single one of our players. Like, I'm all right for 1 or 2 seasons until we can get a replacement. Like, he's only going to be short term. If we get him on for a 3 year signing, I'm fine with that, man. Like, he comes in and he brings more than any of our attacker would. People say, "Oh, but he stops the development of our other players." I don't care. Our other players are garbage. Like, how can we bring in a player to then who will shine, and then the disapproval of the player is so because he stops other people developing. It's just selfishness. It's just pick and choose. I agree. People may not want Ronaldo because of his play style, of his age. That's fair enough. But I would bring him in as a short term option because there's literally no one else to bring. If you came to me June, I would understand people's opinion because we were linked to Rafinha, Dembele, Savage, a lot more players. But we're not linked to anyone right now, and the only realistic option is Ronaldo because Manchester United do not want him in their plans. So the only option there is probably Ronaldo to bring him in. So if your only option is to bring in Ronaldo for this whole window, I will take it.
Yeah, again, you have your argument, and Matt, if you followed the clubs he's played for from after he left Madrid, I think there's a pattern to things that has happened to those teams, and he doesn't show loyalty. He could care less. Once you're out of the Champions League or something like that, he feels like you can't get it. He asks to leave. But that's, by the way, again, like I've said, we can sit here and argue about Ronaldo from now to tomorrow. Again, if the manager wants him, we can't do anything about it. But that's, by the way, I'm going to move on so we can move to the next topic. And I've highlighted something else I want us to talk about even before we start. Like I said, we'll let the tweets out there, emergent news out there, lead us to the halfway through the story, and then we'll try to build the lineup that we believe will play against. Udinese in Italy. Kachila, what's the way we play? Again, here's how I see it, which is always how Thomas Tuchel has always liked to play. And even when we play three at the back, some people say we're a defensive team. That's not the case. The way we apply our three at the back formation or system, if you like, differs from the way Conte applies this. And again, Thomas Tuchel plays in a manner he defends by keeping the ball. He doesn't want to risk too much and lose the ball. Then you'll come to him. So he's always waiting for the perfect opportunity to break your press and then go score against you. But that has led to our team. I don't know how else to explain it. Becoming again, over time, becoming too slow in transition. So even when we have the chance to counter teams, we're too slow in our build-up that usually it doesn't work. Again, Thomas Tuchel, even from Mainz to Dortmund to PSG, his teams score a lot of goals from crosses, but we haven't mastered that. And so maybe if there's something else I could be missing, I'm not perfect at telling you how he approaches the game. Maybe he's changed a bit at Chelsea, but I don't think that's the case. I've seen us trying to put the crosses in on the carpet, most especially like he did quite a lot at Mainz and also Dortmund, but it's not been working. Even in most cases, when the cross is coming, nobody's there to put it in. So that's still a problem he has to solve. Maybe that's probably why we haven't scored so many goals. But that's why, by the way, I'm going to catch up with what we have here. Chelsea should give Broja a contract. Okay, Broja has a long-term contract at Chelsea. He signed a 5-year contract before he left. I think he still have about 3 years plus or even 4 years. I'm not sure how long on his contract. So that's not an issue. What we should be maybe you're saying give him an opportunity. I think the manager wants to do so. And the more we are hearing the club and inquiring about his availability, the more we understand what a player, that is what a talent he is. And I think Tuchel himself has seen that. That's why he's bent on keeping him. Nick Fuel Patel, again, thank you so much for the donation. I sincerely do appreciate that. He says our team is one of the best in EPL. Even without Lukaku, we were at top in December before all the interview and sanction drama started. I think this counts. This not just because it's a super chat. It's actually a delicious comment. I know the panel can agree with me. And thank you so much for such a wonderful comment. I appreciate that again. But that's by the way again, Glenn, a big up coach panel chat. Heard Billy Gilmore, Ampado, and Kennedy didn't get a squad number. Has this been discussed before? We talked about it. And my argument is there's a chance they're waiting for to see who leaves. Maybe they have a preferred number. Maybe there's a chance those players haven't left yet. There's a chance that's the case. There's a chance also that means they're not going to be staying with us. But we don't know. Even as of yesterday, when I did, predicted 11 as a YouTube shot, Raheem Sterling didn't have a number. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you're on the panel or in the chat. So I don't know if it's been assigned one yet. So I wouldn't
They gave Batshuayi a number today. They gave Batshuayi the number just today.
So maybe you could argue because he found the number he wants. And I'm not surprised Batshuayi is staying. I think Tuchel was the Dortmund manager when Batshuayi went on loan there, and he did quite well. He actually made Antonio Conte look stupid.
So you're telling me that you're telling me that this is based on sentiment?
I'm not sure. There's no telling why this is as it is right now. Let's give it time and see
I think
what
it's
happens.
because nobody wants him. Because that's how poor he's become.
Batshuayi, even though he's missed quite a few chances during preseason, the truth remains I'd take him anytime, any day in terms of his ability to participate in the play. Over Romelu Lukaku.
That is sorry to cut in there. That is the only way I'll agree. There is an argument to perceive that Michy Batshuayi's link-up play is really good. The only problem is his finishing. There was a goal. Sorry to chime in. There was a goal. No,
go ahead with it. Run with it. So again,
there was a goal.
Matt can also come in later, so we can move in to. Okay, Matt has already spoken, so we can go to the next topic. So go ahead with it.
There was a goal he scored. Well, not he scored. Willian scored. It was a build-up play with Willian, Hazard, and Batshuayi, and that link.
I remember that. Was that against West Ham?
No, it wasn't against. I think Brighton.
But it was on the side. All one touch each. Was it on the Sarri? No.
Probably, yeah, I think it's
Well, what are we lacking right now? We're not lacking link up. We're lacking finishing. This guy can't finish.
We'll get to that. But there's a reason. Go ahead.
Just to maybe add to why Tuchel may want to keep him, or I don't know why he's keeping him. Me personally, I think it's because nobody wants him. But Tuchel's just saying, you know what, whatever, innit, I'm going to keep him. And maybe the positives he may see is his link up in the front. Maybe that will allow other players to come in and maybe get goals. Maybe opportunities may be more than if it was just Lukaku up front. So maybe that is why Tuchel may see, you know what, let me just see what this guy can do. I personally will work on his finishing. His finishing is absolutely terrible. So that's something I will just work on. Other than that, maybe Tuchel just wants to just weigh his options. This is what I have for now. I'm not getting Ronaldo. There's no one else on the market. Me, I'll say Benjamin Sesko, but no one's listening to me. So yeah, I'll keep Michy Batshuayi in it.
And here's the thing: that's a chance. There's a chance.
I swear to God, my bro. I swear to God, my brother. I want that guy.
And we can still. We can still sell Batshuayi even so long as the transfer window is open. We can still sell him before December. But maybe Tuchel wants to make sure he has enough since we haven't brought in any attacker yet. And he trusts him. He's worked under him, and he did well under him when he went on loan to Dortmund. Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't it under Thomas Tuchel? But my point is, maybe he trusts him well enough to keep him around until he gets in someone that he can let him go.
Yeah. Maybe
he's been so poor, like you and Ty have alluded to, that nobody wants him.
I think that's what it is as well. I think for the coming season, just to for the first few weeks of the season till the transfer window closes, he needs someone for Everton and the next few games after that. So maybe that is why he's just, he probably can't get in anyone, a striker or Borja's probably not ready yet. You know, we don't know fitness levels. You know, probably projected not ready for the first game. So we need Batshuayi here. Like, we need you for Everton, innit? You know, so maybe that's what it is. But yeah, just to come back to what Ty was saying, you guys were saying, Benjamin Sesko plays for Rasmus Salzburg, He's a striker. He's 18, 19 years old. Scored against Liverpool. He's a wonder kid. I want him. But obviously, that's just my wish, innit? My dream. I wake up every day thinking, have you made a bid? Fabrizio keeps putting talks of him and Man United, and I'm, you know, it's just, oh my God, he's going to Manchester United. But obviously we can't get him. We ain't got the minerals, but it's okay to dream, innit? We're allowed to dream, innit?
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong in that. And again, we can talk about a player all we want here. It all comes down to what the manager wants. DJ, please can you take this update? Let's talk about it before we move on, because that's part of the show.
Yeah. No, listen, I don't know how true this news is or how it's coming out, but apparently Pavard from Bayern Munich is willing to join Chelsea in the next couple of weeks if we offer a good offer to him. How true that is, I do not know. It's just what just came to me on the tweet. It's what I've just got just now, and I've just obviously come and shared it with you guys.
The question is, do we want him?
That's the question. Is this the kind of player we need? If you look at our situation, is he the kind of player that we need at this moment in time? I don't know. I mean, I guess he could come if he's a cut. I won't call him a cover player because there's no way. I mean, he obviously will not. I don't think he'll be one of them kind of players that want to sit on the bench. Because let's be honest, he starts every game. I think he starts most games for Bayern Munich, and he does start for the French national team as well. So, what's going to happen with this guy? Who is he going to come in and take over from? You know, I can't see this kind of guy coming in and wanting to sit on the bench. To be honest with you, so let's see.
Tuchel will love him though. Tuchel will love him because he can play He plays left back, centre back, right back, right. Back. He plays everywhere. So Tuchel, as a player, I personally won't want, but Tuchel will love him. But it's from Christian Falk. He's been a bit suspect recently. Christian Falk. He's been throwing news out there recently. So I don't know how true this is, but if it is true, it's hypothetically, I think this is definitely a Tuchel sign. Tuchel would love him. So if he can play everywhere, and I wouldn't mind him maybe as a right centre back, because at the moment, DJ's saying about backups, but we can't even fill up a team. So I don't even think we can talk about
like I say, if he's linked, get him in. If Tuchel wants to get him in, we ain't got the luxury to pick and choose. Do we need him? We ain't got the numbers. We ain't ready, bro. Get him in.
We're a mid-table club, man.
I told everybody, I told Jays, I told the whole world, listen, trophy is a miracle. Top 4 is a bonus, and top 6 is our realistic choice. Let's wake up and start
realistic choice.
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, my brother, we're not ready for this new season.
A realistic choice?
Yes, top 6. Top 6. Yes, bro. That's
change the pronoun. Change the pronoun. I'm not part of no choice of top 6.
Yeah, that's how I say it. That's how I'm going to be realistic with myself this season. In order to not be disappointed. We are not ready for top 4. We haven't got the squad minerals.
Seriously,
top 4.
No, seriously, bro. You really think? I mean, I thought a first 11 of ours at this moment. I mean, if you think about our first 11 when all fit, I think if our first 11 is, I guess we could name our first 11 on here. I think for me, our first 11 on itself could actually do well and get to where it needs to get. But it's only when those players get injured is when we'll struggle.
Yeah.
But in general,
but
first
they will
11
injure as well. We don't have any depth.
So when you take that into consideration, when you have to play Champions League, Carling Cup, FA Cup, how do we see that, being the thing of us, confident enough to say, I'm going to get top 4. I don't see it. We don't have the depth. I'm scared that if Reece James gets injured, who's the backup for him? I'm scared that if, albeit our striker gets injured, who's the backup? Pulisic, an injury-prone player. What happens to him if he gets injured? So these are the concerns I have in which to say, if we haven't got the back of at least one player, 2 players that can play as good as, or even better than what we're talking about. But that's the realistic situation I have to understand until Togoli gets people in place that will fill in those numbers to a degree where we won't have that concern. Right, because right now I'm concerned, but it's all right. I still support Chelsea all the way, through and through. It's not just today. So
again, I think we should just move on for the Batshuayi argument. But this one on the screen is very interesting. Batshuayi is striking with both feet. That's one thing he has to. Even Henry claims his striking is better than that of Lukaku. I want to see where that is. I can't just believe that, but that's part of the way. Overall, I think I appreciate his link-up play. But if Thomas Tuchel trusts him, Thomas Tuchel has shown that he's a miracle worker, and maybe he's keeping him until he gets in a striker. It makes sense. I wouldn't be bad to have, as part of the squad. After all, this guy won us a Premier League. With his instinctive,
and Havertz won us a Champions League.
Yeah,
But, like,
that's by the way.
How
I get the argument.
Look, coach, how can
That's
Tuchel
why
get the
it's
best
so
of our
much like
attackers, though?
Thierry Henry. We cannot
He did it in
sell
away game
the
at
bloke
Burnley.
with only 1 year on his contract. That's the truth. Let me see what else here. Chelsea did not make a bid for, again. I don't want to go into that again. We don't want to talk about K-Boy anymore. Let's move on from K-Boy. Which players does Tuchel actually want? All the nonsense coming out left or right and center is pure speculations. That's brilliantly put. There's no way to tell. We're talking about players he wants. Forget Pavard. Fofana should be our priority. If Pavard was good, again, if Pavard was good, Bayern wouldn't let him go. It's as simple as that. But we don't know what the issue is. You may well be right. That's a chance. Salary is the problem because most teams, what they do these days, once the player's salary gets to a certain measure, they look to move them on because they don't want to increase the salary to unsettle their salary structure. Man City did that with Raheem Sterling. It's not because Raheem Sterling isn't good anymore. I think they were concerned about the salary structure. Plus, they want to reduce that also to be able to accommodate Erling Haaland and new signings. Chelsea, all the way the same about De Jong. Again, let's get into what we have here. Look at them quickly, and then we'll come back to talking about, building the lineup. The players we think will start against Udinese in Italy. And I'm hearing it's 2 games. I'm not sure I understand the structure yet. Again, if you haven't, we have 88 likes. There's 12 more to get to 100 likes. We're shooting for 300 likes, and we can actually do that. You can help us do that. So thank you very much. Again, let's see what we have here. We'll deal with it. Real Madrid have inquired about the availability of Chelsea striker Amanda Breyer by Denzel. Kinsella. I'm going to ask you this, DJ. Do you trust him well enough to think this is the choose?
What's that? Sorry, bro. What's that? Real Madrid?
The Real Madrid that have inquired the availability of Amanda Breyer.
Yeah, you know what, brother? Apparently, they also asked about Timo Werner as well. Apparently, if you seen the news is going around today.
No.
I for one don't believe this. I don't believe this story. I don't believe he will go Real Madrid either. I think Thomas Tuchel's made that clear that he wants him to hang around. He wants him to stay. The links to Timo Werner.
Whenever you hear Tuchel saying that, he doesn't give up. Go ahead.
No. I'm sorry. Yeah. No, I'm sorry. We got our signals crossed. This means goodbye. This means I'd like to say something. That's all.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Go ahead, DJ.
As far as Madrid, no, we cannot give Broja away. We got to give Broja a chance to work it out as a striker here in Chelsea.
Because, and it won't work out.
The only way I'm going to give away Broja is in a package deal to get Declan Rice as part of, West Ham. They go like, oh, we want Broja, and then be like, okay, we'll give you Broja plus money, and you give us Declan Rice. And I know,
and then we sold the only striker that we have.
Yeah, let's let DJ finish. I think we'll all get the chance to say it.
Sorry, bro. I was just going to say I wouldn't sell Broja at all. I'll be honest with you. I would not sell this kid at all, even as part of a Declan Rice deal. For me, I think this kid can do really well for us. I think he needs to be given the opportunity to do that. And I think if he does get given the chance, I think he will take it. I think for me, I reckon he probably will perform better than Timo Werner if given the opportunity. I think he will get goals as well. And I just think we need to stay to this guy. If you're going to sell or get rid of anybody as part of any package deal, for me it would have to be Timo Werner in any deal for anything, because he's the one that seems to be the one that wants to leave Chelsea. So players, as far as I'm concerned, that want to leave the football club and don't want to be with us anymore, I would just let them go. And Timo Werner seems to be one of those players that wants to go.
Anybody else want to talk about this one on the screen? We'll move on to the next one. I want to cover this quickly. Yeah, go ahead, Ty.
Was somebody else going to speak while ago?
No, go ahead. Thank you for being civil there, but go ahead.
Yeah, this whole situation is, to me, it's just an indication of why we should not be looking to sell Broha. So many teams, it's not only English teams now, it's not only Italian teams now, it is teams all around Europe that are inquiring about this players, reportedly or supposedly. That is an indication that they see high potential in this player. You cannot be letting go someone with that high potential, and especially when you don't have any other striker at the or at the club or in the team. So you can't be doing that. Yes, you may consider Batshuayi a striker, but he has not been consistent since he joined us, since he's gone on loan. It has been maybe a couple of games, good games here, and then a couple of bad games then. Yes, he's done some good things for us. He won us. He scored that goal against West Brom that guaranteed the Premier League. He scored a goal against Atletico Madrid. He scored a goal against Ajax. He did a lot of moments, a lot of goals that led to some key moments. But at the end of the day, Broha is young. He has high potential. A lot of teams are coming in for him. That is not somewhere that you look to sell. If it was maybe a case where he's older and he's not performing at the highest level, then maybe then you say, okay, you cut your losses. But the losses wouldn't really be there because he's been with the academy. It's not, you didn't buy him per se, as in having to sign him from a different club and paying a fund or paying a fee. So to me, these are indications of why we should not be looking or trying to consider any bid, because this player is showing that he can attract clubs all around Europe. People say that look what happened to Hudson-Odoi and things like that. This is why I will say that if Armando Broja does not pick up a injury that will hamper his progression, hampering or slow down what he can become, he can be a very top player in the future. He has the potential, he has the ceiling, and he has the abilities being developed right now. You do not sell somebody for another player. Not when you have the potential. Declan Rice, as much as he's a good player.
Yeah, let him finish.
Go.
As much as he's a good player, you don't sell or you don't swap him for somebody else, especially in the moment where you don't have any other striker. Armando Broja, I'm not saying he's going to become our 20 goals a season striker next season, but you need to start somewhere. You need a start. And Matt was saying about Ronaldo, and I can agree with part of that. But at the same time, you can't disregard everything that is negative, because one way or another, those things can shift into what you don't want it to shift into. Yes, you look at him as a goal scorer. We need a goal scorer, but you need to think about the long-term effects. Yes, it's a short-term fix. We also need a long-term fix lined up. You can't just say short-term fix and then in a couple of years you have to find another solution again. So you might as well, if you bring in Ronaldo, that's fine. He can benefit Broja if Broja is willing to wait or to try to learn or try to implement or try to emulate what Ronaldo possibly can do. So you cannot say that, oh, I'm going to be selling this guy, or I'm going to be open to letting him leave if Declan Rice is on the table. You cannot be saying that, because you don't have any other striker at this very moment where you can say that he can score goals, he has the ceiling to do this, he has the attributes that we've lacked since you had a Costa, since you had a Drogba. He has those attributes. He has the movement, he has the pace, he has the intelligence, and he has the instinct to be in the positions that is necessary, and he can also create and he can also play wide. Those are attributes of a player that you don't let go easily if it's avoidable. So that is why, to me, I cannot agree that we should be doing things because we have a desire or we want another player, because we cannot be swapping one player in a different position for another player in a different position. So that is something I can never agree with. And Broja, I see high potential in him, and if he does not pick up an injury that will hamper his progression, like we saw with Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Hudson-Odoi, he has the potential of being something great. So that is not something I want us to let go of at this very moment.
Okay.
Yeah, Matt, your thoughts. But before you come in, Matt, again, thank you guys for we're nearing 100 likes. Just 3 more to get to 100 likes. Remember, we're shooting for 300 likes, and you guys can help us get there. Without you, it's never going to be possible.
I want to say something real quick before Matt goes in. Okay,
go ahead.
If Real Madrid wants Broja, the only way that I'm willing to do that is, like someone said in the chat, 80 million, or if they package a man who we want from Real Madrid, which would be Antonio Rudiger. if they sent back Antonio Rudiger, then yeah, I'd give him Broja.
Yeah, Matt, go ahead.
Broja, it's the same thing with West Ham. Like it's the same point. Like, no, I won't sell him or only loan him out if needed, because I think he has some talent. Like he's got a great physique. He's a traditional number 9. The only thing stopping him is possibly that ankle of him that he has, and for a young guy who's already got injury problems, it's not the best start. But I definitely would not sell him. I think it's good that other clubs are looking at him and gives him some confidence. Like, he's being wanted, but it doesn't mean that Chelsea go ahead and just sell him. I think this window it's very confusing, because if you don't know, we've just given numbers, squad numbers to someone like Batshuayi, but we haven't given them to Gilmore, Ampadu, and what's his name, Kennedy. So it gives me the realization that is this Chelsea squad going to sell a lot of our loanies or our youngsters, someone like Broja. I think Broja, it's more up to the club now. I think his choice is to stay. I don't know why there's many links. I think the links are more the clubs, but I don't think Chelsea would take an offer. As I said, they've been all over the place giving the wrong people squad numbers, but hopefully they don't make the mistake now by selling or getting rid of our probably our only prospected striker. I can't think of someone else who
he's
the
the standout of all of them at this point.
His loan spell wasn't the best. His loan spell wasn't something to look at and be like, oh, fantastic, bring him back. Like someone like
Remember they were benching him, Matt.
Yeah, and he got injured. Yeah,
and again, but what they realized what he's capable of doing. Sorry. Okay, go ahead, bro. Sorry for cutting you.
I agree. Like he was benched, but like if he was good enough, he obviously would have started. I'm not taking away the fact that he's a bad player. He's a good player, but I think VJ said to me yesterday, and a good point yesterday, where he said that did we rush Broja and put him straight into the Premier League, which then advanced his injury, and gave him that injury prone, because he got injured at Southampton twice, and then now he comes straight back. Didn't even touch the ball, on a pitch, and he got injured. Like, we haven't even seen Broja play yet, in a Chelsea shirt this season. So, it's concerning, that injury, but I hope we can, figure out if it's really that bad, because if it's, a problem for his development, then we can, reconsider it. Because if you're going to have that injury constantly, then that's something you don't want to have at Chelsea, because we've known injury prone players and how they work. So let's hope that injury is not bad, and let's hope we keep him. But I think these interests from other clubs are just other clubs inquiring about the player. I don't think Chelsea goes and sells him.
Yeah. Again, thank you very much for that, Matt. Again, says DJ here with just what he talked about on the panel. It says Timo Werner, Chelsea transfer, Real Madrid the interest, Juventus went loan, Tuchel blocking exit. And Tuchel blocking his exit makes sense. We have to be sure we're able to get in players before we let anybody go. Otherwise, our problem will be heightened. It will go beyond being a defensive issue to a broader problem, including midfield. But because we're hearing there's a chance also Jorginho leaves this window to the attacking area. So, but that's why the way Savic is attainable for us. Lazio wants RSC, Emerson, and even Kepa. I think what's his name? Sarri would take Kepa in a heartbeat. So again, and with disrespected Kepa so much, I don't want to go into that argument. I'd let him go, and I think he would want to leave. Some argue because of how much he earns at Chelsea, he would want to stay. I don't think that's the case. For a goalkeeper, you could argue he's still young, because the goalkeepers play well into their 40s. We've seen that before. So I'd argue he'd probably want to leave. Maybe we should get Savic. There's a chance we're looking at him, but we don't know. But we'll see what happens. If Broja was owned by another club, we would be looking to spend, big time on him. AD Love for Blue, I hope you're doing well. Again, let's appreciate and support him. It's as simple as that. And I'm from what I've heard from Thomas Tuchel so far, I'm happy and I'm not really concerned. Again, says tried to shrink a poll. Did I delete it by accident? I don't think you can't delete it. Actually, I don't think it's still there. If we're fine, bro. Even if that happens, you're a human being.
I
Coachella,
need
you
to
should have.
apologize when you're done.
Sorry.
I need to apologize when you finish.
Okay. Coachella, you should have the keep him option in the vote. Again, yeah, that's the truth. Did I miss that one? Loan him out for one more season. Yeah, I think I made a mistake. Maybe I should redo it. Let me just end it quickly. Again, it makes sense. Your argument makes sense. Thank you. But you just shamed me in the public because that's what you guys like to do. But that's, by the way, thank you very much for that, Liam Lane. Keep him should be the. Yes, everybody is just joining in fighting me right now. What's the another option for Chelsea? Means a striker. I don't know. Really got threat now. I wouldn't go that far. Keep Broya, buy Neymar. We'll see what happens. Sell Werner to Madrid. They will pay him a salary that you think they want him. We don't know. But he do well in Spain because he find lots of spaces. He thrives whenever there's space. And in Spain, there are quite lots of spaces for him to exploit. Never buy, never. I'm not sure. Joker, you're really Joker. I've been seeing your comments there. Says a Bali promise to bring in 6 players. Seems he meant 6 dinners. Maybe. Maybe.
That's so true. That's so true.
But the truth remains, we're going to need more than just 6 players. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to come back to DJ. But the truth remains, I don't think we're going to be able to get them all in. It's going to be gradual, and most of them will probably be a few games into the season before some will start coming in. DJ, have you spoken about Broya? I don't know.
Yes, I did. I was the first one you came to, and then he.
Okay, IBC, you go ahead. Okay, thank you, bro. IBC, your thoughts on the the argument or discussion about Broya? Real Madrid wanting him, and something I want to say quickly. Even Real Madrid, even if they know that we're not going to sell him now, their modus operandi, if you want to talk about it, is to tap up a player years earlier. They've done that with quite a few players. What they do, like for instance, when Thibaut Courtois, I think it was Thibaut Courtois, when he got injured, they sent him a get better message. That's what they do. Now, they might not be serious about getting him now. It would just be, okay, just put it out there. And then get the players' attention to, whoa, I will play for Real Madrid. And then in a few years, they'll come back for him. And the player will start going, yeah, they've always wanted me. That's the way they operate. They tap up a player very early, not immediately. Even though they might not be serious at that point, but they will still come back for the player. Go ahead, IBC. I want to get your thoughts on the Kepa, whose argument, Amanda Broya discussion.
Yeah, we keep him. We do. That's it. We don't sell him. He's a prospect. He's on our books. We haven't seen him play. Why not? Why not? You know what I mean? There's nothing much to it really, but to keep him. I don't see any benefit in us selling him other than it being a long list of players that we sell to academy products we sell.
And probably the ones who will regret too.
I've lost count of how many we'll regret. So no, why am I selling them? I'm not selling them. I need a striker too. Well, that's it's a no-brainer, man. So yeah, especially to West Ham, like they can do one. But yeah, it's not. It don't make no sense. It really don't, coach. And Real Madrid, did you say Real Madrid are interested?
That's what they're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's not gonna suffice because they don't even. When did they see Broja to know that? That's like a Brahim Diaz type beat where they want Brahim Diaz from Man City, and look how that turned out. Like, what's he doing now? You know what I mean? He's not, even if they buy him, like he's not going to be there. No, it's not.
Like I said, I'd argue that's how Madrid. That's how they tap up a player.
You know what I mean?
Again, they know he's a prospect. He's got great potentials. They just put it out there to turn the player's head. Again, but that's, by the way, again, says what's up with the De Jong Chelsea story. We'll keep watching, keep our eyes open if we see anything again. Okay. Again, we'll see what happens here. It says, why Amanda Broya? Again, I'm not sure what you're. Milinkovic Savic are far better and cheaper than Frankie de Jong. Why should we give our money to Barcelona, who are our enemies, to make them stronger? Broya should stay. Chelsea member based in Qatar. Again, thank you very much for joining us, brother. I appreciate that. Here's the thing why De Jong will be a better option because he's able to play in multiple positions. He's able to play at the center back also. So, but we see things from different lenses. So our opinion of every player differ from individuals, from one individual to the other. For Tutu, again, maybe he's responding to somebody. Again, let me see what else we'll have to talk about here. I think we should just move on from this topic because we're supposed to build the predicted lineup. What else do we have after this guy here? We have this one here. Luciano Spalletti wants Larissa Balaga at Napoli, and contacts have been made with Chelsea over a potential loan deal. Again, I wouldn't loan Kepa out because it's difficult. I don't think we'll get him to extend his contract. If the opportunity comes down to sell him, we should just sell him and move on from him. But that's, by the way, Callum Hudson-Odoi is likely to leave this summer. Interest is currently quite minimal, and he is not high on the list of players Thomas Tuchel is, counting for next season. Okay, and he's quoting, I am who's that? I'm not sure who that is, but let's start. IBC, let me start you up on this one. Your thoughts, please.
What was it on the screen? Let me see.
That Callum Hudson-Odoi may leave the club this season. I don't think he leaves. I think Thomas Tuchel trusts him.
Yeah,
especially now that he didn't get Ousmane Dembele, I think he stays. But go ahead, IBZ.
Again, this is like the same thing. Like we're lacking, and yet we're selling. No, he's not even part of the list. He's not part of the list. Correct me if I'm wrong. That is on the get out list. Like what? Sell Callum, a homegrown player, easier to register on the homegrown contingent. Who do we get? I think people are forgetting.
Okay, the homegrown quota, right?
Yeah, we can't just keep selling. We can't just keep selling homegrown talent and bringing foreign players or not even in English. You need homegrown quota you need to adhere to, especially with the Brexit situation. You need you need a minimum of 4 players who have trained at the club from 15 years of age. You need minimum of 4. If you ain't got 4, you can't register. You need 4 players, plus you need 8 homegrown players who have trained in England. So that's a total of 12 players who have been through the English football system that needs to mandatory be in your squad. So the argument that we're just going to sell homegrown and bring in foreign and it don't make no sense. We need to. There's registration rules we have to adhere to. And Callum Hudson,
and who's this guy that they're quoting here?
I don't even know. I don't even know. Like we just need to.
Does anybody on the panel know who that is?
Yes, I do, but he's somebody who said some things that have.
Sorry, I didn't hear you, Ty.
I'm saying I know who he is. He's somebody who has said things are reliable in the past, but at the same time, he's gotten a lot of things wrong. So when he balance it out, he's got more things wrong than things right. So I'm not sure what you want to believe.
Go ahead, IBC. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Did we lose IBC?
I don't know what happened to IBC.
I think he's back. He's back.
Can I say
bear with me?
Oh. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead if you want to, Phantom.
Yes. Okay. Callum Hudson-Odoi is Thomas Tuchel's favorite right wing back, even though he has no business playing there. But Thomas Tuchel keeps trying to play him there. Even in preseason, he tried to play him there, and it never works out. But Thomas Tuchel just keeps banging his head. He's going like, Callum, you will be a right wing back. Oh, you think you're out of position now? Well, if we play you there now long enough, it becomes your position. So I don't know what the fascination with him playing right wing back, but if I was Cho, I'd try to become better at right wing back so I'd have a permanent spot in Tuchel's mind.
And here's the thing: Thomas Tuchel's right wing back position. I think you could call it a hybrid of being a right winger and a right wing back. Although you're tasked with, tasked with returning and then helping defend opposition progress. Again, your primary responsibility. Actually, I think it's enjoyable. You should remember the day Ruben Loftus-Cheek played there. We learned that actually the way the application is different. Again, he did quite well. But Callum Hudson-Odoi, whenever he played, hasn't done really well. But I don't think that's a problem. But I have an issue with this because I think Thomas Tuchel likes the player. And I think he sees he can help him improve. And for most Chelsea fans, I've said this before, because they're not seeing much of the flair that they knew him by or with, I don't know how's the correct way to phrase it, when he was still an academy player. Those are the things they will start losing gradually as he becomes more of a team player. And that's what's happening now. But because he's missed a few chances that they expected him to finish, they're going, oh, he's so poor, he's not Chelsea level and all that. How consistently has he played under Thomas Tuchel? I don't think he's poor. I think the guy just needs time. He's a creator too. And with time, we will see how good he is. And I think Thomas Tuchel recognizes that. But he's the type of player that we don't know what we have until, boom, he leaves and goes to some other club and starts firing on all cylinders. Then we will wake up. Again, 148 people watching, and we have 105 likes. We're shooting for 300 likes by the end of the show. So if you haven't, please do take a second to like the video. Thank you. Thank you so much for all the love you're showing to the channel. DJ, you can come in now.
Yeah, listen, everyone. I think everyone here on the panel knows how my thoughts on Callum Hudson-Odoi. I don't want to see this guy leave Chelsea at all. I know he's been disappointed in the last couple of seasons, but I was lucky enough to go and actually watch the academy play at one point, and I saw him play then. And I said to my dad, because me and my dad obviously we go and watch. We're season ticket holders at Chelsea. We also get a chance to sometimes go and watch the academy play as well. And I had a chance to actually go and watch them playing again. And I remember him in that. And I said to my dad, I go, we're talking about bringing players. At that time, I think everyone was just talking about John Terry being our only academy graduate that came to the Chelsea first team. I said to myself, this is one player that I think down the line could make it into this Chelsea setup because he was so great. He was so excellent. He was brilliant back then. And I still believe there's a player in him because I don't know if people remember when this whole thing came out a long time ago, there was talks of Jadon Sancho and Callum Hudson-Odoi being the young two best England prospects to actually come out of the game. And there was talk that he was actually even better than Jadon Sancho. And I said then, and by that time also there was links to Bayern Munich for him as well. I think this was going back 3 or 4 seasons ago. And I said, I hope to God we don't lose this player because when he did got the opportunity to come and play in the Chelsea first team, he was absolutely brilliant. I thought he was excellent. You know, it's only that when that injury obviously set him back, and obviously he's not been the same player. And I know there's a lot of Chelsea fans. I know there's some on this panel as well that are very frustrated with him. I get that. I really, really do. But we really, really need to give this guy a chance because for me, I just think if you play him in his rightful position, a fit Callum Hudson-Odoi, I reckon, is brilliant on his day. He for me, he's still a class act. For me, he can be a class act for me. And I think we should hold on to him. But again, there's a lot of talk coming out of I heard there was links here. I know where this thing has gone by because the guy didn't mention the clubs that were linked. Apparently, Bayern Munich had come back in for him again. There was talk about Bayern Munich of interest in him. I do believe it was yesterday, the day before yesterday, of Bayern Munich maybe looking at him again. And the other club that was surprisingly mentioned as well there's another club that wasn't mentioned was Newcastle. There were the 2 clubs that were actually looking at Callum Hudson-Odoi. And I do believe, again, Thomas Tuchel said it. I don't think he wants to let him go. All right, there's this talk of Thomas Tuchel saying something about his weight. He's put on some weight during pre-season. He doesn't look. He looks like he's put on a couple of pounds or something like that. He doesn't look good or stone weight or something like that. He's looking the same player. But as I said, I saw him in one of the pre. I didn't think he'd put on weight. I thought he looked the same player. And if anything, he was one of the first players. If you remember when pre-season started again, he was the first player at the training ground. One of the first players out there learning. Obviously, starting to train before everybody else did. He was already at the ground. So I reckon this kid should be given a chance again. I think losing him would be a big mistake. If we do have to let him go, if we do, and I'm saying a big if this is, loan him, but don't sell him. But even loaning him, I wouldn't do that either. Because even
loaning is a risk.
Yeah, even loaning him is a risk. I personally think. I reckon we should just keep hold of him, because I do think there's a top player in there waiting to come out, and I do rate him highly.
I think I'd argue that most people who quickly, again, I've said that a million times. Most people that are judging this kid are not paying attention how old he is. And the fact that the more he becomes a team player, the lesser we'll be seeing those flares when knew him. That is when we recognize how good of a player he is.
They play too much Ultimate Team, coach.
Sorry?
They play too much Ultimate Team.
Exactly.
Having Ronaldo, like, it's just like we have rules to adhere to. You don't just sell your homegrown quota.
Mm-hmm. And again, that's important. The homegrown quota is very important. If you let him go, who else is good enough that will come in and fill in that space? And the truth is, again, more importantly, pay attention to how old this kid is. Pay attention 22. That he's a creator too. He's a fine finisher. If you play him close to the final thought, he just needs time. As it matures, you will be seeing less and less of those things you think makes him a good player. Go ahead, brother.
I think he assisted Lukaku last season with one of his goals. So he has something there. He could cross the ball and he could reach a man and he could score. You know what I mean? He's got something. You know what I mean? Like,
with some accuracy too. He's not the type to just put in the ball into the box. Callum Hudson-Odoi, although he doesn't do it too many times, he hasn't done it too many times, but every time he does it with nearly immaculate accuracy.
I think he's
but people want him to score 20, 30 goals before you recognize he's a good player. Wait until he goes to a club like Bayern Munich, then you see what a player he is. But I don't think Thomas Tuchel will let him go.
I'm not comparing. But remember Drogba? I was fortunate to go to grounds on Drogba's first, our first two league victories under Mourinho. When Drogba first came, it was very, very bad. I've got to tell you, listen, it was bad. There was resentment. And it was until after the World Cup in Germany that we saw, okay, this is why we spent 24 million. And if you guys remember, he was linked a move away from Stamford Bridge in which Jose Mourinho categorically said, this guy is not going anywhere. And what happened? The rest is history. So we have to be very, very careful in learning from the past and knowing that you don't just sell, especially homegrown talent from your academy. It's like, no. So I think we should learn from it. We sold Tomori, we sold Guehi, we sold Tammy. Who else? The list goes on. So I think we should just be easy.
Yeah, thank you very much, Matt. Your thoughts on this argument?
I mean, Carlos Doyle, I think DJ said it before. Like before the injury, he did well. Before the injury, Loftus-Cheek did well. But this guy cannot be playing for us next season. I'm sorry. I think time's up. Time's ticking. We're giving the wrong time.
Can I say this, Matt, quickly?
Yeah.
I knew your opinion before time. And if you had said, let him stay, he's a fine player, I'd say, I need to see your face to be sure you're the one talking, but go ahead, brother.
I think the guy has good talent. I like his skillfulness, but he doesn't show it. I can sit here and say, I have a Lamborghini, I have a Mercedes, but I have to prove it, for you to believe me. He doesn't prove it on the pitch. None of our players do. All our players are rubbish. That's why I'm keeping it consistent that all of them need to go. I personally wouldn't sell Hudson-Odoi like a lot of fans would. I would personally loan him. I think he still has a good, but I think we rushed him. And that comes back to my point on Amanda Broja, where will we rush him? Because you look at the injury he got, and was that injury because we rushed him? Was it a lack of experience that in the big leagues with the big boys that he copped an injury? Same with Broja, was he forced? And I'm not comparing. I'm not saying that this is what happens with every academy, but did we rush Hudson-Odoi? I think we did. I think the injury was a bit of a shame. I think this season we should have loaned him out, and I think I'll keep it same consistently. This season he should be loaned out to a Bayern, a Dortmund, a Crystal Palace. I don't know, anywhere. Preferably Premier League, but anywhere, because he needs to play a season where he plays 33, 31 games, because he hasn't had that season. In professional football, he has not had a season where he's played full games, ever. He needs to go on a season where you get experience. I've said, you can't cheat experience. You can't cheat age. You go age one by one. He needs to get to a level where he has that experience from aging. I think it's been very late. He should have done that last season, even 2 seasons ago. Because what's the guy now? 23, 20, 22?
22, man. He's never late.
22.
He's got at least 10 more years in the game.
Yeah, so I would say loan him now. I would have loaned him last season, but then maybe thankfully we didn't, even though he didn't really provide anything. But he shows he thinks he's a good player. He came to training early, this season, which questions why did he put on weight. I'm not sure. Hopefully it's muscle, but that's what our attack needs. But none of them are doing that. But I want him to go on a loan because he needs that experience. If we get rid of him this season, fantastic. For the sake of his career, he needs to go on a loan and gain that experience. Yeah, as you said, he's 22 still. He's still got time. Put him on a loan. There's no need to just keep him and then play him for a 6-7 season game. I don't want that rubbish. I want him to go and play 34 games and then he can come back if he proves himself on that loan.
Yeah, let me quickly catch up with the chat and I'll come back to.
You're not listening, though. What I'm saying is, we have,
and then I'll go
we
to
have a
Ty.
homegrown quote. Sorry, just to counter that, just a little bit. We have a homegrown quota to adhere to here, and we haven't got enough players that fit that criteria. Hell, we haven't got depth. Period. So selling Callum Hudson-Odoi and not bringing in someone that's English, number one, someone that's from the academy, who can step up in his place from the academy, who can step up.
No one said sell, we said loan. But
no, but still,
even loaning him out means we don't have enough English quota.
I don't care. There's no point playing this guy for just 6-7 games. I don't care if he's in depth. There's no point playing him. He needs to go play consistently week in, week out.
Who said he's not going to play 6-7 games? Who said he's going to play 6-7 games?
He did this season. He only played like 10, 15
injury.
games.
There was a large part of injury there involved.
If he's injury prone, sell him then. If he's injury prone, sell him.
No, you don't just do that. You don't just sell a player because he's injury prone, especially at a young age. Listen, you don't sell Callum Hudson. Obviously, you watch his development. Yeah, we can argue you give him to the duration at the end of the contract he just signed under Lampard, and then you assess it further. Maybe by that time, we would have more players coming in. Probably players will be able to fill his place and see what happens. But to sell him now because of the fact that it's a bit rash. It's reactionary. It's ultimate team, bro.
He's scored 4 goals in 4 seasons. How is this reactionary? 4 goals in 4 seasons.
It's reactionary.
Just because he adds another number doesn't mean he's like Timo Werner.
All right, I think we should just move on from the. There's someone else should come in.
Hold on. I didn't
4 seasons, 4 goals.
I didn't get to say my piece on Callum Hudson fully.
No, I'm not going to jump you. I just don't want to make it a back and forth thing. So we'll be going. Everybody has their opinion. And again, I'll come back to you in a bit. I want to say big up to the queen of the house. Nice to see you here. Let me catch up with the chat quickly. I'll come back to you, Phantom, so you say a piece. He says, "Hey, Kuchula and the panel. I'm glad you weren't here when I made a mistake in the poll, so you don't shame me publicly." It says, big up again, saying hello to her. Everybody here loves her. Imran MHD, Chelsea need a good striker like Ronaldo or Neymar or Icardi. You think Icardi would still like to come back under Thomas Tuchel? I don't think that will happen. But Tuchel's such an all the options. I told these conditions, a team not winning the next season confirmed. Again, we'll see. Dana Parson, nice to see you, brother. I hope you're doing well. He says they need more time. We are saying they aren't good enough compared to what Salah, Saka, Grealish, those players were given chances. And these players, we haven't given them enough time. If you ask me, we're quicker to ask for people to leave. Again, that's my opinion. That's what Chelsea do. Tuchel started well, but now collapsed. I think he hasn't collapsed yet. The team must go. He doesn't score goals. Again, Ukeyima, that's your opinion. Why are Chelsea not going in for Ajax, Brazilian winger Anthony? This player is so wonderful, faster with the ball than even a Rafinha. There's no way to tell we're not going for him. We've been linked to him again, but we'll see what happens. And Manchester United also, I'm hearing, wants him. But that's, by the way, says also we're not going to be able to buy players that have proven themselves in our top draw. They will not be available or will be too much money. Barca will have signed them. Again, you could see that. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom. Apologies if I skip your contribution in the chat. Again, there's so many to read. And if I continue to read everything, would be stuck with just reading the comments until the end of the show. I appreciate all your contributions, and I've developed an approach that's going to help us not miss any comment. But the fact is, there's no chance every comment will be read. So as the channel grows, I've developed a process that will help us randomly select comments with a certain hashtag question. Then we'll read that particular comment. That way, nobody will feel left out if you miss your question. Again, Stalin, Matthew Lee Benjamin, nice to see you. Chalova, all English, and we have a lot of academy players already. Don't forget Gallagher and Ampadu. Those two counts too, but how many in total do you think Thomas Tuchel would be willing to keep? Again, really, that's great news. Let Barkley go back soon. I think, yeah, that one has actually gone at pace. And Supreme Quads says, how can we give them time in this environment? They ain't improving in this system. Again, squad depth, and for the fact you can make 5 substitutions the coming season makes it possible to keep a lot more players than usual. But you go ahead, Phantom.
Okay, so what I wanted to say about Callum is this, okay? There's a certain group of people who say, oh, okay, Tuchel's not playing him in his natural position. Well, guess what? His natural position is filled by Werner, Pulisic, now Sterling, Mount, sometimes Havertz. All those people want to play in Callum Hudson-Odoi's natural position, and he will not get a turn there. So if he's not going to work out, for us at the right wing back, which is apparently where Thomas Tuchel wants to play Cho, then we need to just move him on to Bayern or whatever Bundesliga team he wants to go to. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a snappy one, but you make a very serious argument. Again, what I'm going to say again, we're not the manager. The manager, if he likes a player like you've shown, he likes him. He didn't want to let him go. I think he still keep him. I think he can actually be our own Dembele because he has that in him. All he needs is just time. Again, I think everybody on the panel has spoken. Oh, Ty haven't. Go ahead, Ty. Apologies.
Yeah. Hudson-Odoi. I heard what DJ said. I heard the points he was making and everything. The thing is, I even debated this earlier this morning from Addis with somebody who said when they saw the report that he's likely to leave, and for me, I was saying that his career hasn't gone the way that he probably would have liked it to. We kept him. Well, Mauricio Sarri wanted to keep him. He publicly said that he wasn't for sale. We rejected a bid for him from Bayern Munich, and at the time it was for a good reason because he was actually doing good in the team. Yes, Matt will use the fact that, and I'm assuming that is 4 goals in the Premier League in 4 seasons. I'm assuming that's what he means.
Yeah.
So it's not that he's already scored 4 goals for the club. The thing is, he's not had the most ideal career. He's been hit by injuries after injuries after injuries. He had an Achilles tendon injury. That is not something that is easy for you to come back from. And yes, his attributes hasn't been key. And I mean, he's averaging 1 goal in a season does not look good on paper. But it's not as if he hasn't tried to do anything or to try to score more goals. He has had opportunities. He's been wasteful. You can say that. But to say that the time has run out on him, I don't think so. He's still very young. He's one of the youngest players that we have in the squad right now. So I don't think time is up for him. I would rather we loan him out than to sell him because in the future he can be a key player. And we've seen that under proper utilization, he can show what he can do. He has got an assist for Lukaku. I think it was IBC who said, I think he got 4 assists from Lukaku. So he's done things that, even if he's not scoring goals, he's added to goals. So I don't think that to say that, he's averaged 4 goals in 4 seasons, it's a fair point because it's not as if he's just on the pitch running like a headless chicken and doing nothing because he does add value to the team. The thing is that we need goal scorers and he's not adding to that. So I would not say sell him. The time has run out for him because the time would not have run out on him if he wasn't hindered or hampered by these injuries that continuously prohibits him. All the top players right now have never been hit with these type of injuries and had.
He's 21. He's not even 22. He's 22 in November.
He's young. So to say that his time has run out, that's not a fair point because
Ross.
Because
that's how Matt operates.
Yeah, and
I
I
never said
understand
I
that.
never said time's up. I said his time's not done. It's time for him to have a new career change. He needs to go on a loan. Why is he
And to
playing
be
5
factual,
seasons and it hasn't
Matt
worked out?
wasn't
Shut
saying sell him. Matt was saying send him out on loan. But again,
up.
most of us are arguing even sending him on loan doesn't really make sense. Go ahead, Ty.
Of course, it makes
Go ahead,
sense.
Ty.
It does make sense. Gets him into an atmosphere where it's different, the demands are different, and you're not, and it maybe if they're at the same level as maybe at Chelsea, there was a chance for him to go on loan, and Tuchel himself blocked it. Hostel was disappointed because initially I saw him before his injury as a player that you could probably utilize the folding method with Pep. You don't load him out, you let him to go around it, but slowly and slowly, we haven't had players who can actually benefit him. I mean, at Man City, Foden has players he can look up to, like De Bruyne, Gundogan, players along those lines. Conor doesn't have that. So that is why for the most ideal thing for me is Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich have Leon Goretzka. They have players that can actually add value, players that get the best out of players. We've seen what players like Leon Goretzka, Gnabry is 50-50, but he can get the best out of other players. Thomas Muller plays at Bayern Munich or there with leadership skills that can help these young players. Havertz benefits for Germany because he has these German teammates that actually work, and even Werner as well, to get the best out of him, get him the best outcome. So Hudson-Odoi deserves a loan. He's been in the squad. He hasn't really gotten the opportunity to develop properly because he's had injuries and he's been utilized in a position where as a right wing back, your main goal is not to score a goal. Your main goal is to create, and also in Tuchel's system, you have to be able to help in defending, and that is why, for me, I can't really judge Hudson-Odoi in the Premier League because he's only under Tuchel. He's only played in his correct position in the Premier League, maybe 5 out of the amount of games that he's played under Tuchel. So for me to judge him, I would have to see him in his correct position. And when he has played his correct position, he has created, he's had goal scoring opportunities. Some of them have been safe, some of them have been wide. So for me, a loan should have been on the table for him last season. It was, but Tuchel valued him at the time. Didn't want to get him on loan. And even though there was a case where clubs wanted him on loan, he wanted to keep him and then utilize him in the wrong position. So I really think now it doesn't help Hudson-Odoi to be at this team right now with no progression for him to develop because he's still young. He's not like he's 26, 27 where development is supposed to be ending for you, and that's when you're supposed to be using experience, trying to use what you've learned. He hasn't learned anything because the squad is filled with players that actually don't add anything to the team. So he needs to go to other clubs like a Dortmund where they have a philosophy with players that actually are of a higher level than the attackers we have right now. Bayern Munich are interested. Newcastle, I'm not really convinced because Newcastle are still trying to develop their own strategy in the attack. So for me, I think maybe a move abroad would be benefiting him, and then he can add what he learns. And if he comes back and he does well, then fair enough. But I don't think that right now it's fair to use this statement that he has 4 goals in 4 seasons as a way to say that he's not ready because he's 21. He's just been introduced early because of the fact that he was impressive in the youth system, and Maurizio Sarri saw something in him, and Tuchel saw something in him as well. So I think a loan is good for him. I just don't agree with selling him because there is a strong chance that he comes back better and we can benefit from that rather than having to spend millions on another player when we have another player at the club already.
Yeah, but again, thank you for that contribution, Ty. Again, if you're watching, we have 127 people watching and we have 115 likes. I'm still hopeful we can get to 300 likes by the end of the show. So if you haven't, please do take a second to like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Let me see what else we have to talk about here. For me, Callum stays, and I think the manager likes him. We've seen that ourselves. He wants to, turn him, get him to do even better. Again, I say Chelsea this week again, tried again for Nathan Ake, and we're prepared to submit a big proposal and tempt Man City who then checked if it was possible to still hijack the Zeus J Boys deal.
Oh, this is
as a replacement.
embarrassing.
Yeah,
This
this is
is
absolute nonsense.
embarrassing.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. Go ahead, Matt. Talk about it, so we'll move on from that. We'll take it one by one, so we can quickly start
We're just
building the predicted lineup.
predict the lineup. I'm just thinking what players to even put in there. But look, this is just embarrassing, man. Like, come on. We're just running around like headless chickens. Oh, Ake, Kunde. Just make up your mind. I've said this. Tuchel has no bloody clue what the hell he wants. Why is he running? Why doesn't he be decisive and stick to one? Ake or Kunde? Ake fell through. He wanted to stay at City. Then we go to Kunde, which apparently we didn't even put a bid for, which was shocking to me. So why are we not going
from
back
what I'm
for...
reading in terms of Kunde, we put in a bid, they accepted it, but we didn't go back again because we weren't sure if he fits. Again, K-Boy, we weren't sure if he fits if he's the profile of player we want. Then Barca came in. That's Monchi. That's Monchi's statement.
Yeah.
So again, I said we did put in a bid, and again, that's why we should move on. Which means we never wanted him. We weren't that serious about the player, so that's by the way. But go ahead.
It's like them now we're going to an Ake. Ake is a C to B level defender. You know, I'll say C level. You know, people are complaining about high and then go straight to Ake. Kunde is the player we needed. Ake, I'm sorry, Ake is a downgrade from Kunde. I'd rather get in Skriniar or Fofana. Ake is a great player, but he's not one of these top players we should be asking for. But it just frustrates me how we just keep running around in a circle. After this, we'll go back into interested in Delict or something. Like, it's just does Tuchel even know what he wants, or is it just these journalists just spreading these false information? Because if this is true, this is absolute embarrassment. I'm in shock.
Yeah, it is. Again, I don't know how it's to phrase it. Something came to mind, but I really do not want to use that analogy. Again, if you're watching, we heard Amanda Broya got the shirt number. What's the number? I want to know. Anybody on the panel know the number?
No, I don't. It's the first I'm hearing of that. I don't know what his shirt number is.
If you're in the chat, please do let us know what shirt number did Amanda Broya got. DJ, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, Matt, I'll be honest with you, bro. I don't believe this story whatsoever. I know it's done by Fabrizio Romano, yeah, but I'm sorry. This guy's got things wrong in the past. I don't believe Chelsea would have gone back for Ake after we were turned down by Kunde as a late bid replacement for him again. The City already made their stance that he was not for sale. For me, I took that on board. Pep's already come out and said he's not for sale. They're not selling him. I don't believe this story at all. I think it's just journalists. And let's be honest, Fabrizio gets things wrong now and then. And
is he even a journalist, or is he just a Twitter journalist?
He's usually, to be fair to Fabrizio, as I said, he's reliable with things, but sometimes he also gets things very wrong as well. And to be honest with you, I just think now's the time to kick Chelsea down like most of these journalists are doing because of all our disappointment so far in the transfer market. And Matt's obviously saying that Thomas Tuchel doesn't know what he's doing. I think a lot of these journalists are now starting to think, and I'm not saying they're thinking the same way, but a lot of them are now making a mockery out of Thomas Tuchel. I don't believe this for a second. There's no way he would go back in for a player when he's already been turned down once already. Okay, and he goes back in from again. I for one, sorry, I don't believe that at all. So in that situation, he's done it once. It was a no. That's it. We move on from it. We didn't get Kunde. We look at other targets. But Ake certainly not gone back for Ake again. And like Matt said, I don't think for me, is he the kind of defender we need at Chelsea at the moment? Probably not. I don't think he is. He was at Chelsea once. I get that. But for me, I think we'll go for other targets, hopefully, and bring the other ones in over him.
Can I ask a question though, DJ?
Yeah, go for it, bro.
Don't you think that the reason why he was not quote unquote for sale is because they couldn't find a quality replacement?
Who's this for Ake, yeah?
Yes.
I think. Look, I'm not saying they didn't look at him. Okay. I'm saying, yeah, they obviously look at him, but let's be honest, he's targeted quite a lot of defenders, mate. It's not just obviously Ake, and obviously he was one of one. And let's be honest, Ake almost signed for us, but obviously City turned us down. So I don't believe
they were not progressing with their efforts to get Cucurella.
And let's be honest, yeah. Well, from hearing to I don't know if you guys have seen now, but apparently on Sky now, Live just broke that Cucurella's handed in a transfer request, and he wants to leave.
They can sell Aki.
Yeah, he wants to leave.
Something similar. Go ahead.
So now,
it was sloppy seconds maybe. Once again.
Yeah, maybe now. Maybe that could be a situation where Chelsea may go back to Ake, but I don't think we will personally. I do believe we'll still look at other options. You know, I don't think Ake maybe last minute. It could be a last minute thing, but I don't think we'll go back in for him again. I mean, like Marvin is saying in his comments, hopefully Skriniar, you know, will be an option we could look at, or even Fofana at Leicester. But not for 70 million. But not for 70 million. But not for 70 million.
No. That's just what's out there, or maybe what Leicester City are getting, what they get in the media to help them push so that they can get a sizable fee from the sale of the guy. We've been there before. Go ahead, Matt. You were saying something.
Quickly, just quickly that our options are limited now. Like we've lost option 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, Skriniar, Fofana, Pavard. These are 6, 7, and 8. You know, we don't have a lot of players to now go for. So I think, you know, we should have overpaid for players like Kunde, De Ligt, personally Kimpembe for me, because I'd rather overpay for them than overpay for someone like Fofana, who's 80 million. That is the biggest waffle I've ever seen in my life. I'm not paying a cent for that guy. And then Skriniar, like, again, I would take Skriniar, but for the right price. So what options do we have left? There's not a lot of options. And we still need.
How about Pau Torres, Matt? How about Pau Torres? He's available at 40 million, maybe 40, 51 million. No.
At the moment, I don't care. I think, you know, if we can get a good price, but I personally wouldn't take him. I think Pavard, you know, I don't like Pavard personally, but I think Tuchel will love him. I think Tuchel will get the best out of him. So I wouldn't mind him because of his versatility. But there is no one there. We should have had this centre back stuff done, because look, there's a month left. I remember, Coach. I was saying, you know, 16th of July we should have some transfers done. I was on the party bus. You know, I'm back on the panic bus now because what centre backs are left? You know, we're losing all of them. You know, so.
Yeah, there might be one more we might end up looking at, guys, and that is Lewis Dunk from Brighton.
Oh,
that could be desperate measures.
That's Freddie Frank's target, man.
Oh, bro,
I'm not going for that, man.
No, I know.
Yeah, but Wally Waldo says I'd rather take a Fofana than Aki. Again, you and I the same. I think Fofana is a better player, if you ask me, in my opinion. But let's quickly go through what we have. That is quickly start building the lineup because we're running out of time here. To be honest, here it says Fofana has indicated he would like a chance to discuss the move if CFC make a suitable bid. Leicester wants a 75 million plus add-ons. I don't think that's going to happen. We heard that when we wanted to sign what's his name, Ben Chilwell. That's a tweet again. This one here, Chelsea still not accepting any official bid for Armando Broja. As of now, Tuchel insists in keeping the player, not happy with potential permanent transfer. Tuchel really wants to keep him. After West Ham 30 million proposal rejected 10 days ago, more talks on Chelsea's side will take place. That's probably to explain to the player that he's part of the manager's plan. There's something I saw, not this one, there's something I really want us to look at. It has to do with Fofana following and unfollowing Chelsea players. Is anybody on the panel well acquainted with the story? Please educate.
Exactly that something's not right.
Yeah, are you well acquainted with the story? Please help us so we can move on to building the lineup.
He was following 79 people on Twitter, and then when people did a deep dive into it, they realized that he was following Mendy, Koulibaly, I think James, and I don't remember who else. And then, he was following Drogba, but he was always following Drogba. And when people went back, because they were using something called Social Blade to check how many people he's following, and then when they realized it was at 71 at the beginning of the day, then it was at 79. He was following some other people. He stopped to following those people, and then as the day progressed, he unfollowed those 4 people that he had followed, and then he dropped from 79 to 75. So there's an indication that something is going on there.
What the hell is follow? What's going on there?
They're stalking him because he's been linked to Chelsea.
Who they're stalking?
Yeah, we're talking about Fofana.
Oh my god!
Wait, so he unfollowed Chelsea? I'm confused. So he unfollowed Chelsea players? Is that what it is?
No, even when he said when the rumors are that he unfollowed Chelsea players, they checked and saw that he actually still following them or something like that. But I think right now he's unfollowed them for real because he has to. He's still under contract at Leicester City. But good, IBC wanted to say
Oh
something.
wait, sorry, hang on. Let me clarify. So he followed them, and then a couple of days later he unfollowed them. Is that what? Is
No,
that how it is?
after
No, the same day.
people.
The same day. He followed them on a day. And then he unfollowed them at the end of the day.
Right after I think it was Pies. Then they took a screenshot of his followers and how he followed them. If you were him too, you would unfollow those guys because if it's something you did under normal circumstance, it will be linked with your proposed or even rumored move to Chelsea Football Club. The rumors that you've had great personal terms with them, and that way it would seem as if you're not being professional because it's still under contract at Leicester City. You got my argument now. IBC, you were saying something.
Yeah, are we looking at cryptic messages to see what a man's following to determine if he's coming? Like, is that what we've become like? Like, it's very we're desperate for transfer. We really want to play Ultimate Team FIFA career mode so bad. Just let free it, Like, I don't know. Me personally, I don't think we got minimums to get this done. It's too late. Leicester adamant they ain't gonna sell. All this palaver that they need to sell to make money. Well, and is it gonna be for Fofana? Like, let's keep it a buck. Like, I don't know. I know there's interest. I've heard there's interest, but Leicester's stance is Leicester's stance, and I just don't see it happen. And if we pay over the odds, that's a panic buy, albeit it satisfies the need for those that want to see a transfer happening. But with this done, like, I don't know. Let's free it, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm just speaking from an exhausted point of view that, like, when we're trying to nosedive into cryptic messages like Instagram, find out who we follow on Twitter, I think it just become a bit desperate because that don't give you no indication that the player's signing. You can want to just follow Chelsea just to see what's going on. Like if it's not credible, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just a bit old school for this type of nonsense, but it's like, mate, really? We're looking at Instagram followers to see. Yeah. And you said, Ty, that someone's stalking the follow account. So there's a thing that they called social something. What did you call it? Social something. And they're using that to follow him. It's like, what the hell? What? Just, I believe there is interest there, but I believe that Leicester's stance is going to be very hard to bulge. We haven't got the minerals. We haven't got the people in place to talk down the owners to get this situation over the line and/or even convince Brendan Rodgers. I don't see this happening. I think we should just move on and just look forward to the season. In all honesty, I don't see anything happening anymore.
You know what?
I think that needs to be clarified, though. There's something that needs to be clarified. They were not stalking him. They were not stalking him to see who he was following. All of this was figured out, and the reason why they found out that he was following Chelsea players was because of the fact that a supposed friend of him posted a picture of him in a Chelsea shirt. So what they were doing is to see if it's somewhere that Fofana knows. And when they did, they realized that he was following the person who did all of that. And then when they looked in his following, they realized that he was actually following some Chelsea players. That is the reason why they realized that. And if you go back to the tweet, you see that they said that he's following this. After they checked to see if the person who had posted that picture was somebody that Fofana knew. And there was an interaction between Fofana and that person. So that gave them the assumption that it's a friend of him. And that is the reason why he was able to take that picture and post it. So that is why they found out that he was following Chelsea players. It was not they're stalking him to say that, oh, is he following Chelsea players? Is that a hint? No, it's because they were trying to find out if the person who posted that picture was somebody that Fofana knew. And then when they realized that he is actually following, they actually saw that he was following some Chelsea players as well. And then when they went back, they realized that he's not following them anymore because they were.
He's still following Didier Drogba.
Yeah, he was always following Drogba because Drogba is Drogba. That doesn't mean anything. Holland is following Drogba. Chiesa is following Drogba.
Yeah, here's the thing. I think the lesson to learn there is how the media can actually help complicate things sometimes, even indirectly. But that's, by the way, again, we're going to move on from that and start building on the line, building the lineup. Leicester need to sell players to buy. I think Ty talked about that yesterday. Kasper Schmeichel is going to Nice, apparently. And the other day was a Kimpembe that said he'd left already. Leicester wouldn't go less than 65 plus bonuses. Remember, Fofana has 5 years left. But there's another factor that comes into play, his injury. He just returned. There's no way to guarantee he'd be as good as he was before he got injured. Bali really needs to step up as an owner and protect this club. Again, there's no way to tell he isn't working to protect the club or he isn't doing what he should be doing behind the scenes. Again, I repeat myself. I think part of the Chelsea fans' frustration is that we don't know all the players that the club are talking to. It's as simple as that. There's no chance you tell me they're only talking to defenders. They're not talking to midfielders or attackers. They are, but we don't know them all until it starts happening. And like we've always argued here, by the time the window shuts, there are names that will come in that we didn't even know that the club have been talking with. 5 years left of Fofana's contract. We ain't getting him for less than 60. The same thing was said about Ben Chilwell, but we will see what happens. Pau Torres is too soft for me. Pavard is too soft too. That's another good argument there. I think it is not good when it comes to negotiating the purchasing power of players. The wife of Mourinho was better. I'm not sure how what to read that. I have checked on our Premier League updated squad numbers, and they haven't. They don't have a number for Broya yet, Kuchila. So yeah, so I don't know where that's coming up. Maybe it's a leak or something. He unfollowed them. Yeah, we learned that too. I think clubs don't know how to scout players. They are busy buying, and Chelsea identified as good players. Maybe that's why the players aren't coming in yet. Again, we're just gonna move ahead. I will scroll to the very bottom. Let's start working in the lineup. And apologies if I skip your contribution. Yes, go ahead, Ty.
The only difference between Chilwell and Fofana is that Chilwell was actually an injured player when we signed him, so we could have bought him for cheap. Fofana is injured, and the other thing is that
in the case of Fofana, he just returned from injury, right?
He came back in February. He played against us. So it's about him being ready for the new season. And plus, the other thing is, Fofana has 5 years left on his contract. When we signed Chilwell, he had 4 years. So that doesn't really disregard the fact that he can still come, but at the same time, it's down to if the club is willing to spend a higher amount on him.
Okay. Again, thank you for that, Ty. Because I didn't know he actually he's returned a while ago and he's played against us, so it's going to be difficult. His injury won't really be a factor, but he hasn't played a lot since he returned. So that still factors into it a bit, and not that much. Again, if you're watching, we have 128 people watching, and we have 123 likes. So if you haven't, please take a second to like the video and also do subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna end under the troll poll, which asks what should Chelsea do with Callum Hudson-Odoi. 32% say sell him already. 24% say we must not sell him, and 44% say Cho needs to be loaned out. So I'm going to end that one. Let's start with the lineup. I'll start with you, Ty. I'm still with you. Again, we know the obvious choice here. It's Mendy again. He started after, I think, what's the name? Kepa started only one preseason game, right?
Started, yes.
Yeah, so Mendy is the obvious choice. If you're in the choice, let us know. This Mendy, and if you're on the panel, if you think otherwise, let us know. But I think Mendy is the obvious choice injured? There.
I think Kepa's still injured. So,
Kepa, he actually got injured. I forgot that. Go ahead, Matt. You were saying something.
Yeah, if Kepa was fit, I wouldn't be playing Mendy in this. But Mendy could warm the bench for me today because this guy is not proven to be a starter. I would like Kepa.
Bettinelli should play then.
Nah.
But you guys not think though that with the start of the season coming up, he should put the first 11 out for this game and then obviously make the changes down the line.
I don't think he will experiment this too much.
I would put 98%. I've already done the prediction on it. I said 98% of the first team should start but not all of them. But again, we're gonna have unlimited subs, so we can just sub them. But Someone like him needs
True.
to start this game. Mendy is suspect, man, and I've always said that if we get a secondary keeper to come in, yeah, do it. But we've got Kepa, who's the only one realistically who can compete with him. So if Kepa's fit, I would start him, but I'm not sure if he is. So I guess Mendy has to start.
Yeah, I'll go with Mendy as well.
Yeah, go ahead. Anybody on the panel thinks otherwise?
What about Sherman Lowe?
I don't think he gets a chance. I think it's gone beyond experiment right now, even if he was experimenting. Yeah.
Who was that? Who was that, Ty? You said?
Sherman Lowe.
Wow.
One of the goalkeepers, right? Is he?
Oh, yeah, he's like 18 or something.
He's a youth goalkeeper that always trains with the first team.
What about Bettinelli?
Nah.
After that old
who's actually looking for a fight here?
No,
he's garbage.
All right, let's go. This is assuming that we play 3 at the back. I'm starting from the left. DJ, who you think starts here? I think Koulibaly.
Koulibaly, yeah, 100% Koulibaly for me. Has to start this game.
Anybody think otherwise? The left-hand side, left centre-back position. And this is in Italy too. I think Thomas Tuchel will feel like he will feel well at home in Italy. But again, that's my choice. Anybody on the panel think otherwise? If you're in the chat, let us know who you think starts in the left and centre-back position.
Don't forget about the legendary Malang Sarr, who can still play.
I know, but I don't think he starts this one, but that's me. So we'll see. If anybody thinks otherwise, let me know. Then we'll see. Let me ask the chat. If they win, then we'll go with what they think. Okay, LCB. I'm just going to use LCB, and I mean left centre back. So I'm going to add as an option Sarr. If anybody on the panel thinks otherwise, please do let me know. Koulibaly.
I'm saying Malang Sarr for a reason. That when you get to me in terms of the other sides, then I'll explain why.
All right. If you think otherwise, let me know. Anybody on the panel thinks otherwise?
Nah, Sarr ain't starting, man.
You think Sarr?
No, Sarr's not starting. I said Koulibaly.
Well, who do you think, Matt?
I said Koulibaly.
Yeah, I'm saying Depo K2 again. Let me see here. I think majority is saying Koulibaly.
I would play as I said, I would play 98% of the first team. We have a game in 2 weeks.
Play 100% of the first team. Let's just play the first team.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Matt. Can you say what you said before?
I mean, yeah, I was playing 98% of the first team, which, number one, we don't even have a first team, really, but the back three should be our first team.
So let me see if anybody thinks otherwise here. I think this uncle right here starts. Go ahead, you were saying something, Phantom.
Silva.
I think Silva, right? I think Silva too. Mm-hmm. Anybody on the panel thinks otherwise?
No.
And I think the chat can agree, so I'm not going to waste my time there. And the poll that just completed says, what's it again? Let me see, where's the poll again? I think majority wants Koulibaly to start there. So I'm going to add Koulibaly here, Silva here. And here is what maybe we need a poll. Do we really? No. The obvious choice is Chalobah. I don't think it's Chalobah. Yeah, it has to be Chalobah.
That is why I said Malang Sarr on the left. I said Malang Sarr on the left for this reason.
Why?
But majority says Koulibaly, so majority wins.
But this is no. I'm explaining to you.
I don't get it. Why? Wait. Why do you want Sarr? Because of this reason. I don't get it. Why do you want Sarr because of this reason?
I'm trying to explain that.
Because he wants Koulibaly in the right. He wants Koulibaly in player 4, and he wants Sarr in the Koulibaly spot.
Nah, see,
I'd rather have Chalobah.
So we're assuming Tuchel will be fielding the strongest 11 because he wants to win this one going into our first game of the season. So on the right hand side, do we agree Chalobah?
Unfortunately, he's the only one there. So yeah,
it's the only option there. Yeah, and if you're in the chat, let us know if you think otherwise. I don't think there are too many choices for that one. We'll just move ahead from it because we're closing into the end of the show, so we got to be quick about it. Here again, this is where again it's going to be difficult.
Chilwell
for you. How about you, DJ?
Sure.
If Chilwell is fit, of course, I agree with most of the panel.
Of course, he's
Chilwell for
fit,
me.
but we don't know if we're trying. And if we're going for the strongest 11, believing
Yeah,
you
then
know
Chilwell,
is that
100%.
Chilwell he was before he got injured, then Chilwell.
Chile.
You think otherwise?
Chile.
You have two choices: Chilwell or Marcus Alonso.
Chile B.
He needs fitness.
What other
He needs
options there? Let me ask the
B.
chat.
The only
Alonso.
other option is Marcus
Isn't Alonso still employed at the club?
Oh, Alonso is still there, but I don't think he
Oh, yeah, I
starts.
forgot.
That's my
Yeah,
opinion.
Alonso's
You
still
let
there.
me know if you think otherwise.
Wait, sorry,
Chilwell's
sorry,
not
guys.
fit, so we need a player.
Sorry, guys. Is this what we want to start against Everton, or our strongest side we want to?
Yes.
No, against the strongest 11 to face Udinese in the friendly today.
No.
Sorry
Yeah.
for today. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
It starts in.
Like,
It starts in.
ready?
5
That's what I was
hours
asking.
and
Is Chilwell?
50 minutes.
Is Chilwell,
I wasn't sure if
I know
Chilwell
he's
was.
training, but
Yeah.
he's match fit, like ready to play.
That's
like,
why.
I think
That's
he's
why you're
fit,
playing him. That's why you're playing him.
And what I'm
He's
thinking, if he
fit, but
wants
he's
Chilwell
match
to
short.
start against Everton, he probably
He's-
plays him in this game.
Oh,
Yeah, he has to
100%
play him in
then.
the
Okay,
season.
then
Yeah.
you put Chile then. You put Chile.
He still needs to get match fit and match sharpness, so you have to play him in this game.
Just put down Chile. And Chilwell.
No other option there, right?
No other option.
Yep.
So let me see what the chat says again.
Alonso.
Chilwell, I don't want to spell his name wrong. So anybody there?
There's no
Chilwell.
need for a poll. It's going to be
But
Chilwell.
Tuchel may feel Alonso. That's the reality. He may just feel Alonso for the
Nah.
45 minutes.
But if what we're hearing is true, I don't think he'd keep him. And 91% of people in the chat already saying Chile. I think let's just accept
so there's
Chile
no need
here.
for a poll.
And
Chilwell.
here, I'm not going to even ask.
Reece
Honestly.
James.
Oh, Reece James. Yeah.
If I ask a question, Matt will just start fighting me immediately.
What
And I
do you
think
mean?
we don't have too many options there. And I think Chile wins it by 94% to 6% for Alonso. Here, okay, 2 6s. I don't think N'Golo Kante will play. I think Jorginho starts because he's been with them throughout, the preseason.
Kante is in his country.
Jovic.
What is Kante's situation? Does anyone know? Is it because he still can't come?
In terms of his contract?
I think he,
No. In
he,
terms of
he
fitness.
can come now. He can come now because
I
this
think
is
he can
Italy.
travel. I think he can travel
Yeah.
in Europe now. He's
He
good
couldn't
now,
come
but he's
to
only
USA.
America.
But I don't think he starts.
No.
Oh, well.
No, I personally,
Jorginho, Kovacic.
I would start Gallagher because I want to see Gallagher in a double pivot Jorginho because if we cannot use Gallagher in a double pivot this season,
Well, we
there is
saw that
literally no
against
point having
Arsenal.
this
Look what
season.
happened.
We could
No,
not
but that
use
was in a back
double
four.
pivot.
That was in a back four. In a back
My
three,
here's the
it's
thing
a
about
different.
Gallagher. Here's the thing about playing Gallagher deep. It will
No,
take
this is the
time for him
thing.
to able
We're
adapt
wasting
to
a guy in the
playing
wrong
because
position.
what the games he's played, what he's played is you could call it a hybrid number 8 that starts deep but still operates as number 8 from deep. Now, but Gallagher, I don't think he's mastered it, and he can't read the game. Although he has
We
he
have
has
to
the
win
knack
this
of.
preseason.
Sorry.
We have to win it. We lost to
Doesn't matter if we win.
Arsenal
It's
4-0.
experimental.
We have to win this game. It's a
I
psychological.
think we have to go into the Everton game. I think I agree with you. But Matt, your thoughts. Who plays alongside this guy? Let's get everybody's thoughts.
We need to
said-
play
hang on,
cover
hang on.
this. This game is to win. We start time for
No,
experimenting. We should have experimented. We didn't experiment.
care. I don't care if we win or lose. I don't care, but I want to experiment.
No,
You-
Gallagher
you-
playing is an
season.
experimental. We
Okay,
cannot
so
just
if-
mean
okay,
it's an
if-
experiment.
hang on. If
People
Gallagher
not
can't play any,
taking this game
Okay, let's take it one by
Kovacic.
one. When we're all talking, nobody's talking. Go ahead, Matt. I'll go back to Ty because you started talking before Ty came in.
if we've signed Gallagher to play midfield, right? I want to see him in a double pivot in a back three, right? Because it's a
Really?
different form. It's a different form of double pivot. We played him in a back
So
four. double
your
pivot.
choice
It's
is
double six.
Gallagher, right?
Yeah, because in a back three, it's a different double pivot than a back four because he played
Alright.
two DMs. Now I want to see
Alright,
Gallagher
Matt,
because
Matt,
if Gallagher,
Matt,
hang on.
who's- Yeah, go ahead.
Wait, hang on. Because Gallagher is supposed to be a midfielder, so if you can't play in the double pivot role, then why play him in the midfield? He has to go into the front three. So I want to see if he is even fit for this midfield because I don't want to come game week 4 when Thomas Tuchel was doing all these stupid tactics where he should have done in preseason, and we go, why didn't we do it in preseason? This is what preseason is for. I don't care if Alonso plays striker. This is just experimental shit. Arsenal lost. We
Striker's a good idea.
I need to see it, but I want to see Gallagher where in a rotational where Mount is. But I want to see first how he does in double pivot in the back three. I don't care. Like, I'm not going to force him to start. I don't care. That's just my opinion. But if Kovacic starts, he starts. Kovacic and Jovic. Jovic is our best double pivot. But I want to see how Gallagher fits in because Gallagher will probably be needing to be the rotational player to be with Kovacic. Because who else is going to rotate with him? We don't have Saul. Loftus-Cheek is asked in that double pivot. So who else is going to be there? I wouldn't mind experimenting with Gallagher.
We need to win this game. Kovacic.
Yeah, we get that. So I get your argument, Matt. So for you, Gallagher, Ty, you were saying, who do you prefer in that position with Jorginho? Because we're sure definitely Jorginho starts.
Kovacic. Gallagher as a
Kovacic.
six.
Okay, I said cover. You said cover, right? Go ahead. You want to explain why? If you want to explain why, go ahead.
It's not a 6 though. He's not playing in a 6. He's playing in double pivot. You push up. You do the presser.
That's what it is. You have.
Let's take this one by one. Who are you talking about, Matt?
I'm talking about Gallagher. If you play in a double pivot, one drops deep, one pushes up. So he presses in the.
Yeah, I understand. He's the Kovacic role in terms of hybrid 8.
He's not a
operating from deep.
Okay.
Ty, give us your reason.
By that logic, put Jorginho on the right and put Gallagher on the left because that's the way that Kovacic plays.
No, but give us your choice. The most important thing is your choice and why.
Same thing.
Switch the size. Kovacic plays on the left. If he's going to be playing in the Kovacic role, then he has to be on the left because Kovacic
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's double pivot. Doesn't matter.
Okay, but Ty, who do you pair with Jorginho?
I said Kovacic.
Okay, Kovacic. We'll have 2 Kovacic. How about you, DJ?
Listen, I'm in both camps here. I'm for Gallagher or Kovacic, or cover. It's a tough one, that is, because I want to see like Matt. I want to see what it's like with a Jorginho or a Kante, for example. See how he plays, because I think that will be his position when the season starts. So for me, but when I saw him that game against Arsenal, and I thought he looked really, really bad and out of place. So for me, what I'd probably do is I'd probably give Gallagher. I don't think Gallagher was that
from
great
the deep, right? Yeah, go ahead.
I know. So for me, for this start, I'm seeing both arguments, but I would have to say I probably would just start cover for this one and then bring Gallagher on afterwards to see what he's like with Jorginho afterwards.
Cover.
Yeah, I think the chat, as I'm seeing it, I think they agree with us. 60% once. No, they don't. 60%.
But I get Matt's thing as well.
Even though Kante didn't travel. Go ahead, DJ.
I was just saying, but I get what Matt is saying as well. So I'm on both. I'm sitting on the fence if you like, for both. But I probably would say just because of the way Gallagher played against Arsenal, and I want to see this guy do well anyway because I think he will. I just want Cover to probably start this game at least with the first half.
Cover.
Yeah, cover.
So 47, I think the chat has started to Kovacic. So we're going to make it Kovacic. But I get Matt's argument. Matt, again, he looked lost from deep. He looked lost. Gallagher is a fine player. He looked lost from deep. And this has always been my concern. Even before the preseason started, I was fearing that Thomas Tuchel is going to play him as a 6, but he's not a 6. Even if you're talking about the Kovacic role, you should be able to read the game to a certain extent. You should be able to dribble your way out of tight spaces. You should be able to beat the press no matter how aggressively and the numbers of the opposition pressing you. I don't think he has everything it takes to fulfill the Kovacic role. I'm seeing him being there. I'm actually seeing I'm actually seeing, again, some updates from Matt. I'll let him talk about that himself, brother. I'm actually seeing Thomas Tuchel trying to mold him into a traditional number 6. But that's by the way, Matt, can you come in with the update quickly before we complete the lineup?
It was just Mr. Frank Lampard, my favourite manager personally, wants to take Michy Batshuayi. So get him to Everton. Get him to Everton. Frank Lampard wants Michy. Take him.
He wants Gilmore and Barkley as well, bro. By the way,
and he will get those players for cheap.
We'll play half his salary to make him move there.
Matt, you get my point. I think he'll get them for cheap, right? No, I don't think he can only get one player on loan.
Gallagher. What's his name on loan? Will be Gilmore on loan. Yeah,
Gilmore.
Yeah,
he's getting Gilmore on loan. How long does he have on his contract?
2 years.
Oh, so we're still hopeful, but I don't think he'd renew again.
He extended, didn't he? He extended.
I think it was automatic. Wasn't it automatic?
It's a club option. It's a club option, and then next year he's not going to sign, and then the year after that he plays for his daddy at Lampard for real. That's how it's going to work. I've already
Aspie did the same. Aspie did the same thing as well, by the way.
I've already been to
Matt, thank you very much for that update. I appreciate that. Before we continue, I want to quickly ask you to please go check Zivoy, Matt, that is the Zivoy YouTube channel. Check out this content. Be sure to subscribe. Matt's channel is one of the fastest growing YouTube channels around. So I want you to subscribe and let him know I sent you. Also, check out Phantom of Many Topics YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you too. Again, some travel videos. I told him I'm going to steal his camera. I don't know what camera he's using, but the quality is just brilliant. I love it so much. Also, go check out Ty Talks YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe. Let him know I sent you. Follow DJ on Twitter. And, of course, be sure to follow Chelsea Perspective on Twitter too. And, again, we're going to move on. I'm going to scroll to the very bottom so we'll move on to what we have to the lineup building. Again, I'm going to skip to the very bottom. Let's see what the chat has about where we are right now. I'm going to skip to the very, very bottom. Sorry if I skipped your comments. Again, where we at right now, let me see. We've added Jorginho covered James. Okay, now we're going to the 2-8. I'm going to start with you, DJ. Who you think will occupy that position? The position 2-8. That's we know Thomas Tuchel usually prefers to play like this. Otherwise, the only place that changes in most cases is this one person dropping here and then two up front. He does that too. But let's just go ahead.
The two for me. Sorry. Go on, Ty.
Sorry, no, you, DJ. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. The two for me have to be Sterling and Mount.
So Sterling on which of the sides?
Sterling on the left and Mount on the right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sterling is a natural.
Sterling here. And
Sterling
Mount here, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, how about you, Phantom?
That's correct. Sterling Mount.
Again, how about you, Matt? I'd be surprised if Matt agrees.
No, Sterling Mount. I mean, that's how two.
I was just looking for the trouble.
When you have a midfielder as our best attacker, it just sums up how bad our attack is. But Mount and Sterling are our best attackers.
Yeah, I think those two will most definitely start. If Thomas Tuchel isn't experimental anymore, if he in fact wants to, if he in fact wants to start the best, strongest 11, I think those two starts there, and that would be fire. I think even without signing any more players would be good, but we need more players to do even better. I don't want us to just be average. I want us to exceed what we did last year or what we did the past year under the man. And again, and at the same time, and not for us being in a rush in getting players in. If you're in the chat, let us know if you agree with these two number 8s. Again, if you think otherwise, let us know. Ty, your turn. Do you think differently? Do you want to counter anything?
Yes, I want to counter.
Go ahead.
I agree with the front three, but with the front, the back, the two players in that position. But I would switch the sides.
You mean as in a one up behind, two up front?
No, I would switch the sides.
Mount on the left, Sterling on the right.
Yeah, because James, I want to see what happens. The only experiment I want to see is what Sterling and James do on the same side. That's the only one I want to see.
That would look deadly.
It doesn't really matter because after all, Sterling himself sometimes can play on the right, and he usually switches. These players they do switch positions. Go ahead, DJ.
No, I was just saying what. Yeah, I was just saying what Ty's saying. 100%. I think that James and Sterling on that side, it could be well effective. They could just swap with each other. Do you know what I mean? If need be, and they're both good crossers of the ball as well.
Just 1 second. Let me see. There's an update from Chelsea HQ. Just quickly, let's look at it before we continue. That will give us. I don't know if this is official. How well do you guys trust Chelsea HQ?
Not at all.
Anybody on the panel think we shouldn't trust them?
Yes, I trust them.
Much as Sunrise Nigeria.
Full lineup is fine.
Okay, he's saying the Chelsea squad for Udinese, Kepa, Alonso. Again, I think we should see the traveling list on the club's website. We should, right?
Yeah, that is
Chelsea
the list. That is the
squad
list.
for Udinese: Kepa, Alonso, Jorginho, Silva, Kante, Kovacic, Pulisic, Loftus-Cheek, Bettinelli, Chalobah, Gallagher, Mendy, Starling, Mount, Hudson-Odoi, Chilwell, Ziyech, Kennedy, James, Koulibaly, Aspilicueta, Havertz, Sarr, Emerson, Gilmore, Harveyville,
Gilmore's there.
Broya, and Padu.
You notice two players
so-
are not. You notice 2 players are not in there, don't you? You know who the 2 players are.
Werner,
Barkley
Who are
and
they?
Batshuayi.
Werner and Cole.
No,
Werner.
Werner's injured. Werner's injured. He's back at the bridge,
Oh.
and Barkley and Batshuayi
Yep.
haven't left at home.
Yep. That's because they're. That's
them
because
out.
of
So
the
those guys are
Get them
I
out
out.
in the
know Cole
league.
as
So
well.
does this
Bloody Frank.
mean that again, this isn't something they can make up, but I think it's out there already, which means Gilmore still get a chance, and I want to see that happen.
And Levi
Yeah.
Cole is not
I'm
there as
happy
well.
he's there.
That is excellent.
Leo, yeah,
No.
he's there, isn't he? Levi Colville's there, isn't he?
In that sense,
Havertz. Oh,
Mm,
no.
Did we see
Isn't.
Cole
Vale.
here?
Yeah,
Did I
he is
miss
there.
it?
Vale.
here.
Oh no, Vale. No, he's not. Harvey Vale's there.
So
Is
there's no
Colville
Cole
there?
here, right?
Oh, there is no Colville. No, apparently.
Yeah, there's no
the-
Levi Cole.
oh, it's an
Apparent-
injury. He has an injury. He's an injury.
Well, no. Well, apparently, in fact, the situation with Colville was apparently he was at a Southampton match watching the Southampton game. I think it
Colville's
was
He has an
yesterday.
injury.
Yeah, but that doesn't
Yeah,
matter. He's born in Southampton.
Hang on,
Cole
I've
was
just
on
said it.
that
Cole
list.
was.
Yeah,
Cole
I
has
know,
an
I know,
injury.
let's
I know
take
he
it
was,
one-
bro. I know.
Timo, let's take it one by one. We're just everywhere right now. DJ, you were saying something.
No. I was just saying about Colville. He was in the match. He was watching a Southampton match. But I know what Ty just said. I know he was born in Southampton. I was just saying. I'm not saying nothing's happened with it. I'm just saying.
Well, Cole was injured.
Uh,
He is.
uh,
Cole
what
was
were you
injured.
saying,
He went
Matt?
to the bridge injured.
Cole.
Cole is injured. Timo Werner is
Okay.
injured. They're both at the bridge.
Yeah.
That's
Not
Stamford Bridge in
necessarily
Tottenham.
because they're living right now.
Let's throw
Yeah,
in
so that's
Bro
why
off for this
They're at
game.
the
Let's-
bridge. Where are they at the bridge?
Because they're in the medical department in Cobham.
So they have to skip the
Just feel and I said it at the same time. Let's throw in Broha at the top.
What?
Broha, if he's ready to go. Broja, Broha. I don't know.
Broha. Yeah.
Yeah, let's put him in.
Okay, Ty, you wanted to say something too? We're hearing that he's injured.
I'm finished. I was just asking I was trying to ask a question to Matt, and he answered it.
Okay, so number 9, for anybody in, I'd say Morata.
Broja. I don't want that. I don't want that bum Havertz up front, man. Get Broja there. Take his position.
Why are they name calling?
I think the truth is,
Havertz needs
Thomas
to sit in.
Tuchel, when he decides to drop you, he doesn't look back. He will drop you for a while until he sees a change in you. But that's, by the way, I think I agree. Broha starts here for me.
Broha.
Anybody on the panel thinks otherwise?
Nope. Good. This is the perfect lineup. I'll take
Harvey
this
Vale.
one.
Harvey Vale.
Part. We will
You
take
think
this.
Vale starts?
Yeah. Broha
Has he
starts.
played a single game during the preseason? Did he really? I think he
Start.
once, right?
Let
Did
him
he come in
start.
as a substitute in one of the games?
I'm joking.
No,
I
he
don't
hasn't.
remember.
If he's back from injury, let him start. Havertz can sit out a game. That's fine. And then if this lineup works, we take him into Everton. If not, then we replace him with Havertz. If Broha works today, then we take him into Everton against Super Frank.
The manager gave him his debut.
Yeah, and Kim So is suggesting we
No,
play
against
Alonso as a
Everton.
number 9 man. It will work. He will get you goals. Honestly, I'm serious about it. But the truth remains,
I'm the first one
I
in the
know.
world to say Alonso at 9. I'm the first
Yeah, I know
one. in the world.
Alonso. I know Alonso is a fine finisher, but here's the thing about players: the moment you start playing him as a number 9, he won't be as good as he is, because the advantage he has, as in, he surprises defenders. He comes in, from deep the defense on the wings, wherever he's operating to get those goals. The moment you start playing him as a number 9, I don't think he'd be that good at it again. But that's, by the way. Again, I want to come back to you, DJ. Your thoughts on everything we talked about today, brother.
But Everton, did you say?
No, everything we talked about today and your expectations from the game
Oh.
against Udinese.
Oh, sorry, bro. I was in a. What do you?
No
Yeah,
worries, no
look,
worries.
No. Listen, I'm expecting us to go and win today. To be honest with you, I think we've got a good enough. I think that team we've all put together, I think is good enough to go and get a result up there today. So for me, I'm expecting that today. And generally, you talking about generally what we've talked about in general today, or just talk? Is this a roundup you're doing, bro, or is it just about this?
Broha scored 2.
Was that sorry?
And your predicted score.
Oh, I don't give predictions. You know that. I never give predictions. I just always say Chelsea win.
I'll come to you, Phantom. Calm down. Go ahead, DJ.
I just say Chelsea win.
No.
Okay. I remember that. Sorry, I forgot. So, Phantom, what do you expect? What type of game do you expect today? Do you expect us to
Sterling 1, Broha 2, the other side 0.
So it's going to be 3-0 in total. That's your prediction.
3-0.
All right. Matt, how about you, bro? And if you want to talk about your channel even more, go ahead. And again, can you say something in the chat? I don't know why I haven't made you a mod. I want to do that quickly. Apologies. I always forget easily. And if you want to talk about your channel, go ahead. If you have anything planned, let the people know.
Just firstly, now that I know Kepa's fitting in, get Mendy out of this lineup and put Kepa in there. He has to start. He's starting this game. I'm gonna set an alarm. It's a
get
5
Mendy out. Put your brother.
Hey, I just want to say one thing about Matt. I went to Matt's live chat, and I was 6th to hit like.
Hey. Big up.
Thank you for that, bro. Thank you for attending. He does that for Chelsea's perspective too. He asks people to come join us here. But unfortunately, he starts from before me. I can't do that for him in return. But Matt, go ahead. Your final thoughts. And again, what do you think will be the outcome of the game?
It's a 5 a.m. game. I'm not gonna watch it. I got my own game tomorrow. But now that I know Kepa's fit, I'm setting an alarm for 4 a.m. If he starts, I'm gonna get up and watch it. If not, I'm heading back to sleep. No, I'm joking. I'm not gonna watch it. But I'm looking like it's looking like it's hopefully a good game. I'd say a 2-0 win. I want us to just despite the score, I don't care if we lose 5-0, 6-0. I want to have a good performance. Results doesn't matter. It's performance that matters. It's the experiment that matters. So let's half time. Let's get some new boys in. We got Broja up here. Broja in, maybe Gilmore in, Ampadu in. Just to get a switch around. But you can obviously check. You never notice my channel at Zvoy. I'm having Miz other side of the coin next week.
That's
I've had
big
Frank
name.
Carlett on everyone. Yeah, so I'm at 500 subs in nearly 2 months. So yeah, if you want to sub to me, you can go there.
Yep. Again, be sure to check out Matt's channel and be sure to subscribe. Yeah, I've seen him here, so I'm just gonna make him a mod. Add as a moderator. Yeah, thank you very much, Matt. I appreciate you finding time. Yeah, the love you've shown this channel, always finding time to join. I cannot thank you enough. And again, you need me on your panel. You can always reach out. So I appreciate that. Again, Ty, your thoughts. I haven't actually asked Phantom. Phantom, your final thoughts on everything. Okay, you have. You even
but I can still add something.
Okay, go ahead. Add to it before I go to Ty.
If Broja is fit to play, I want to take this exact thing into Everton and beat Frankie Lampard 3-0 as well. That's what I want to say.
I hope that happens. Kimso, like I said, you should actually be the driver. Again, you should just be the driver of the panic bus, not really Rodrigo Rajes, but I get it. Ty, your final thoughts. And again, I got an update from Liam Lane who said that Everton are in talks to sign Michy Batshuayi. I think he would do well for them, but maybe we have planned to bring in another striker, but we'll see. Go ahead, Ty, your final thoughts, brother.
I actually forgot what I was going to say. All I'll say, I'll just give a prediction of the squad and just end it there because I don't know what I was going to say. I'm going to say a 2-1 win for Chelsea. That's all I'm going to say.
You think we'll concede?
Yes, I think we'll concede.
I don't know the Udinese team very well to say, okay, I'm concerned about one player or the other. Again, that's by the way, I cannot thank you guys enough for the absolute support. And again, be sure to go check out Ty Talks YouTube channel. I will add his information to the chat again, so you can go check out his channel if you want to. Ty, do you want to talk about your channel? Up to you.
Not really. It's a closey channel. That's all I can say.
All right, no worries. And I read your message, and I understand, and I appreciate all that. And believe me, I will find a way to pay you back big time because you've shown you're truly a brother, and that I can trust you. Kuchila, the formation will be played today. Will be Mendy, goalkeeper Koulibaly. So again, Chalova, James, Chilwell, Kovacic, Jorginho, Stalin, Pulisic. Havertz, mate. Okay, we'll see how we differ by the time we look at it. Again, thank you to everybody that found time. Mr. R. Conte will start. We will see. And you say it's a place for Udinese, I think. Okay. Delafeo, he played in the Premier League. Did he play in the Premier League?
Yeah, he played for Watford.
Yeah, he played for Watford. He was a fine player, actually. He did well. I liked him. And he's dangerous too. But we'll see what happens. Again, I want to say thank you to everybody. Go ahead. You were saying something?
Before you go, are you still doing the 11 a.m. show in 4.5 hours?
Yeah, I should do it. And Helgi and Travis wanted to host the show. I don't think I'll see if I can host that one for them. If I'm not doing that 11 a.m. show, there's an appointment, and I don't want to fight with my wife. If that's going to happen, then I will transfer the pre-game show to Ty Talks YouTube channel. But I'll try to come to an agreement with my wife. But we'll see. If not, I'll transfer it to Ty Talks. It already had gotten
Are you going to watch
already? Sorry.
Are you going to watch the game at noon Vegas time? It starts at noon.
What time does the game start?
Noon Vegas time.
Let me check again. It starts. Okay. No. It starts noon. Yep. The pregame show starts 1 hour before, which is 11, which is why I'm telling you, I will watch the game wherever I am. The problem I'm having right now, something came up, and there's a chance I might not be available for the pregame show, but I'll try to arrange something. If it won't work, I'll just transfer it to Ty Talks YouTube channel.
Okay. Very well.
Yeah, so thank you very much for that question. I want to say thank you to everyone on the panel. Thank you to my brother. I trust him so much. DJ Sal, thank you to Ty Talks. Thank you to those. Sorry?
I said excellent to always be on here, Kachila.
Oh, okay, yeah, thank you, brother. Again, always good to have you around whenever you're available. Kachila is always fighting. I know you don't like me, Josviola. I know, but it's okay. Thank you to the Queen of the House, Josviola, for making herself available and also helping keep things clean there. Thank you to Matthew Lee Benjamin, who's become, one of the captains of Chelsea Perspective here, but the sole captain, main captain is Liam Lane. Again, thank you to Kim So, who should be the bus driver of the Panic Bus, but Rodrigo had already taken the key. Thank you to Dio, my Niger brother. Again, Dio Labade, nice to see you. Thank you to MC Rasdi. Thank you to every other person. If I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. And again, I cannot thank you enough for the love you've shown this channel. We're just a few more subscribers away to get to 5,000 subscribers. Again, if I missed your name, apologies. See you guys later in the evening. For the pregame show. It depends on where you are, or tomorrow for the Blue Morning show. Thank you. God bless us all, and bye.
Up the chairs.